Hello, Gadwin.
Howdy, howdy.
How's it going?
No, we're pretty good. I found some Menace.
What's a menace?
It's just called Menace. The game just came out first.
Oh, interesting. I've still been stuck on just one. That's always been my go-to.
I've been waiting for this one for a while. I played the demo about 5, 6 months ago, and
Oh, understandable. If I've been like on edge and like looking up information and just waiting and waiting, then I'll freak the fuck out when it finally comes out. Because I build anticipation. There's
I,
not a
I
lot
don't get
of
too crazy.
really.
Not anymore. I've had my hopes dashed so many times that it's like,
That's fair. They are good at marketing shit and like over pushing crap to the point where it comes out and you're like, uh, like it's not terrible, but they market it to such greatness that your fucking anticipation or your what's the word? What you expect is like insane. And then it like ruins the whole experience when it comes out because it just turns out to be just kind of meh.
especially nowadays with all this early access shit.
Yep. And I'm at a point where usually, even if there's like a new expansion or something that I'm looking for, I'll wait a period of time before I even get invested. Like with MMOs or whatever. Right now,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
playing Guild Wars 2. Uh,
back into that whole.
yes. Well, it's something that's like tried and true. And I have like nostalgia attached to it because I played the original. And they made a lot of changes and shit, but they just had a recent expansion and I waited like 2 to 3 months before I even jumped in and made sure to check all the reviews that they haven't started going downhill. They're not doing too terrible.
Yeah, it's one of the older classics. I never got into Guild Wars. I was a big Warcraft player though back in the day.
I played the fuck out of World of Warcraft. In fact, I never played the original Warcraft, but World of Warcraft, it's to date probably the most addictive game I've ever played. In fact, I didn't stop playing it because I didn't like it. I stopped playing it because it literally took over. Like I couldn't do anything else. It was everything.
I get burned out. I ran it so much. I played all of them pretty much, except for like Mists of Pandaria and that
Yeah.
Battle for. Well, I haven't played the last few expansions, but
I think
I played Legion.
Pandaria was the beginning of the end. Like it allowed me to get out of the addiction a little bit because I really hated the like for one, WoW was very cartoony, and I've never been a fan of that art style, but it's not the end of the world. But Pandaren, that's too cutesy and fucking toonish for me. Like it just ruined everything.
Well, I hated how they tried to pander to China by putting the whole Asian aesthetic into it, just so they could get more marketing in China.
Yes. So I don't mind having Chinese, how do you put it, oriented gameplay. What I don't want, I agree with you, but the problem with it isn't that it's Chinese, it's that they did it specifically to market to China.
For
And
me, it's more like how the whole game was never really a certain culture, but then all of a sudden, boom, there's all this Asian culture just slapped in the middle of a fantasy game that really didn't have any defined culture other than orcs and humans.
that's true. Very true. It for me, it's not that it was Chinese, it's the intent behind why they went that direction. That's the
I mean, I
problem.
like Grand Cathay when it comes to Warcraft. I think Grand Cathay is pretty good. It fits in with the whole everything else,
Yes.
but
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with it because they didn't incorporate it just for monetary gain. They weren't like grifting essentially.
yeah.
I agree.
I played not long ago here. I was playing when they brought the Wrath of the Lich King back out. So I
Mm.
played that expansion there for a while. Got the
What do you
rating a little
mean
bit.
back out?
But
Like
they're re-bringing out, like, so they brought out Warcraft Classic, so it's just vanilla playing World of Warcraft, and
I
then they brought
never
out Burning
understood
Crusade.
that. Are they marketing on nostalgia? Is that all it is?
Kind of, and so you can go back and relive those times. And some people, I mean, were just too young to experience those and how the game was then. They have a lot of the
Okay.
younger players that go
I
back and
kind of understand, but I mean, for me personally, like I don't have any interest in that. Like the World of Warcraft, if I wanted to play, I would go back and have everything available all at once. I wouldn't want to, how do I put it, artificially limit the game to a part in history to where you had less. I don't understand the appeal.
Well,
Like I don't get it.
they do fix some things, but like they won't have like any bugs that were in it. They'll get rid of those, squash those. But I liked Wrath of the Lich King. To me, that was the emphasis of like, oh wow, it was good. Cataclysm kind of starts going downhill.
I like Wrath of the Lich King, but my pinnacle, the same idea that you're saying, is Burning Crusade by far. Like
Yeah, that's where
I
I got the most
love,
into it.
not to
That's when
mention
I started playing.
yes, and it was for me too. But Transmog, like I made it up until I think Mists of Pandaria. No, I even played after that with whatever that expansion is, where they made it to where you could play the Illidan type class.
Legion, or
Legion. I,
no, that was, yeah, that's where you could play like the Demon Hunter, the
yes,
Legion.
I can't
But there
remember
was one
what.
before that. That was where you go back to Draenor before it was destroyed.
Yeah, I played that as well.
Yeah, I played that one. I thought that was pretty good with the bases, but it took everybody out of the main cities. The main cities died.
Yes, that's true. That's one thing I like about Guild Wars 2. They have set up a system that doesn't make new content squash everything in the past. They have balanced the world to the point where everything is always still relevant. Even like core back when there was no expansions, there's still people populating those maps and playing constantly. And that is rare in MMOs. I
They
love
kind of
that.
do that when modern WoW now. It has level scaling and all that shit. Where like if you have a bunch of high levels, they'll scale them down to lower level content and shit.
Well, they scale it down, but do they make it to where rewards are still viable? Like there's a reason to still play older content because it hasn't like got to the point where only the new maps make it like
It's
way better.
it's like called time walking. So if you want to level in Burning Crusades, you can actually go back there and still get XP from leveling through that or wherever. Kind of, you can just kind of whatever fits your niche.
Is there any other reason like monetarily, like as far as the economy goes? Do you know what I mean? Like
Farming old equipment
yes.
and stuff like that, mats and everything.
So it's actually still viable.
I think so because you still got level profession, so you still got to go through all the different expansions of leveling stuff. And I
That's
don't
cool.
play the I don't play I didn't play the modern WoW. I didn't like it. I have like 11 characters max. Well, we're maxed at the time on there from Legion, but I was like,
Right.
no more.
I've played every MMO the same. I'm what other people sometimes like begrudgingly because they don't like us call an altaholic. I don't have a main. Most people play in such a way that
Yep.
they have one character. I don't do that. I don't like it. It's boring.
I spread everything across. Like I had 11 all tunes except for the monk. I never played a monk or anything like
I
that when I
love the
had.
monk, but it wasn't my favorite, but I still liked it. But
I'm a warrior purist mostly. That's my go-to. I had two
yeah,
warriors actually.
I like everything. Like I can't stick to one, like even play style. But what I do love about WoW and what I hate about modern MMOs is not just WoW, but other MMOs of that era is the Holy Trinity. I'm a fucking heal lover. And I hate that modern MMOs have gotten rid of healers. They've destroyed it. Like now
Oh,
it's like I don't know what like Guild Wars 2, for example. This is the one major gripe I have about it. Everyone kind of is their own healer. Like they all have one dedicated heal skill. So it gets rid of the need for a dedicated healer. I don't
Star
like
Wars
that.
was kind of like that. The Old Republic. I don't know if you ever played that one.
I haven't.
That's kind of like that. There's healer specs, but it's not like you really need them. Like I mean, unless you're doing like raids, probably
It's similar with Guild Wars 2. Like if you want to heal, you need to be in like hardcore in-game content for it to be useful.
viable.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
like even if I were to play in like what they call the open world, like there's major whole lot of people world boss, people frown upon being a support character, which is essentially a healer. Uh, because the game, the meta is designed around like as long as you know the mechanics, you're going to be fine. So it
yeah. The
really
dance
just
I call
it
it.
yes, it so really what happens is it takes away from DPS, which makes the boss take longer. And I hate that. It's like it ruins a lot for me anyway. Like everybody's different, and I think most people prefer to just see big numbers dance across the screen as far as DPS
That's not
goes.
me. I played a
I,
tank most of the time, and then if I wasn't a tank, I was playing a shaman healer.
I'm similar. I like to feel like whatever I'm doing is integral to the group, and damage is just
I find it
basic.
boring.
Yeah, it's just so the same
I
shit.
rated as a warlock for a time because that's the only spot they had. So I had everything, so I could fit any spot.
Yeah,
I liked leveling too. To me, that was my enjoyment. I start a new character and just power level the fuck out of them.
that's me too, and I'm still that way. People hate that as well. They're like, dude, it makes no fucking sense. I spend all this time getting to in Guild Wars 2, it's level 80. No, 20, sorry. No, it 80. Jesus Christ, I'm getting Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 confused. But like they're like, I spent all this time, like the game sucks until this point, because that's how most people view the game. But me, I'll create it. You get to 80, I delete the fucking character and start a new one, because the leveling experience, the story, the after every level you get certain like new abilities, you unlock new skills, you build your character. That is the fun part to me. That's what the whole draw is, or most of it anyway. And
And I
people
became
just
like a
can't
master of
understand.
like questing. Like I could go into a region and just pick up everything and just power through leveling like it was nothing for
Mhm.
me.
Right. I can too, but I don't always do that. So it depends on my mood, well, like a lot of things. But now I've gotten to a point where I've done it so many times. Now I just try to not have a goal, or that's not exactly true. I don't have a hardcore goal. Like I'll just enjoy the game. Uh, Personally, this is subjective, but Guild Wars 2 is a game where I think a lot of people miss what it's all about, at least in my opinion. It's like they got rid of the typical questing scheme that most people hated about MMOs. They made it to where you go in a certain area and you have a whole barrage of options you can do to complete what they call hearts. So you're not stuck like, hey, go skin 3 pig asses. Like it's not like that. So I know you know what I'm talking about, because that's typical like WoW type questing.
Yeah, go click to so many of this, kill so many of
Yes.
that.
Yes, they got rid of that. You still have that option, but you have other options. You can get to level 80 with no fighting at all, just by like unlocking POIs, points of interest, and doing other
Which you do
things.
get exploration for a while. Like as you travel around, you get exploration XP.
That's
But
true. It
now you can also do PvP. You get XP from PvP, and also like you had the dungeon finder, which makes it super easy to just level through dungeons. Like
Was
if
it
I did
not
a
the
tank,
case before that you could get experience through PvP?
no, you couldn't
Oh,
up until like Cataclysm, I think.
interesting. I didn't know that. I've never been really like PvP to me is something I have to check off. Like I need to be in the mood, which means I tried one time to join a PvP server and I fucking hated it. Like I can't remember what it was called. Like it was a level 20 zone. It's the first time you can get to it, and it is known. I think it was up in a region near where it's a big night elf area. I can't remember what the
Oh,
zone's called, but as soon as I got there, I'm like, hell yeah, just the same as I've been doing so far. I can just,
like Ashfall or something like that.
I think that's it.
Ashton
Yes.
Vale maybe or something.
Yes. Something like that. And I got there, and Jesus Christ, I got ganked like every fucking 5 minutes. I'm like, dude, this is not fun. This is fucking gay.
Well, I didn't do PvP servers. I just would do like so when I did PvP, it was always like there'd be a weekend, so it'd be like this battleground, Alderac Valley weekends and stuff like
Yes.
that, where you get a whole crowd that wants to do them, and then the queue's really short.
Yeah, that's cool. And also I can prepare for it mentally, and I'm in the mood for that. I don't like it when I'm like trying to do something else and you just destroyed my whole fucking game plan. Like that's why I don't like PvP servers.
Yeah, I don't care for it too much. It's just one of those things you do once in a while on the weekend, like when
Yeah.
you're playing. It's like otherwise you just get burned out doing the same Warsong
Yes.
Gulch over and over and over.
I think it's a certain type of person that really, I hate to say it, and it's not always the case, but in MMOs, usually it's toxic type, I hate to say it, conservative minded people that really enjoy PvP. And you can tell by their banter,
Mhm.
they'll kill you. Get fuck, noob? Like, it's that type of mentality. Like, I don't
It's a
like
lot of kids too.
that's true as well. I just don't like that mentality. I don't, and to me, killing people is just not fun. It's not entertaining to me. It's not fun. Like, I get very little out of it other than like if they set it up to where there's actual tangible rewards, then
Well, you
that's a
got to
little
play a
different.
rogue once. Play a rogue once, and then have fun ganking people.
I have, and I did do that for a little bit, but it didn't last very long. Like,
Yeah, it's
to
fun for a little
me,
bit.
the PVE has always been my primary,
Yep.
like,
I was a
fun.
hardcore raider. I did 25 bands for so long. Main tanking.
Yeah,
I like that.
I did the same. I just don't like anything that's that hardcore to me. And a lot of people disagree with this, and it's fine. I play games to escape reality. I like to
Exactly.
just be kosher. And anything that's hardcore, like it requires you to fucking damage your fucking hand by pressing buttons so quickly. That's not fun. That's like another job, dude. I don't want
Well,
another
healing
job.
can be like that.
That is true, but if it's not extreme content, it's not like that. Like, unless you're doing like hardcore raid type stuff, to me healing it's not as
What were you,
extreme.
druid healer, or
I did all just like everything else. I played everything, but healers were my love, so I had every version of healer imaginable.
okay? I like the priest. I did priest healing for a while, but I did shadow on the side for leveling and all
Priest
that.
was my favorite, and that's obvious because the priest is kind of like, that's what they do. That's what they're known for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I never liked paladin. I never did paladin healing. That was only tank
I
only.
I did paladin. So it has, like most things, it has its strengths. The fucking emergency heal on that you can't compare it to anything.
Lay on
No,
hands is just
yes,
yeah.
yes, it was a fucking OP. You can
Well,
only
now they
use it
got
once though.
beacon of light and all these other things. Now they got all kinds of shit for the pally healer. But shaman was
Yeah.
me. I was like doing the rain thing and splashes of water on people, and then the chain heal, just healing everybody.
Yes. Yes.
I interrupt just for a second
Okay.
about your game things and stuff. um, you know, uh, I play games to escape reality. One sad,
Uh-huh.
deluded.
What do you mean so I
No,
agree with
you carry on. I'm fine now.
well, hold on. I just want to understand your point of view.
If you're talking about games, it's good. But
Your first point, sad, I completely agree. And it sucks that I live in this fucking world and I'm in the United States of America at this point in time. I agree with you completely. Second point, I want you to expand on it if you don't mind. What do you mean deluded?
I just think like the fact that you think you're escaping reality, you're not really. You're just avoiding it.
Yeah, that's true. But that's
Attacking it.
you're right. I agree with you completely. Maybe I could have used a better word, but that's the point. It's the whole idea. It's like reality, at least where I am, is so insufferable. I want to distract from it. I want to be somewhere else, at least for a period of time, because it's just never ending anxiety.
Yep, that's what I use games for. I disappear in them for hours, and I don't think
Yes.
about reality whatsoever. I'm so into the game.
Sad.
It is sad, but like, so also, and I've said this before in the past,
Why dodge reality? Why not confront it?
well, because we're human and you don't have unlimited mental energy. It's not possible.
That's fine.
And like, I can only speak for myself. Well, it's not only that, but it's subjective because we each have different levels of mental energy that deplete quicker than others, etc. Depending on many different factors like your experience in life, and some of it's even biological. But like, so also some people, I can't speak for everyone, but some people I imagine get to this point not just due to how they're wired and their experience and everything, because they've tried to fight reality. They've done everything they can possibly imagine to change circumstances, and nothing works. And
Like one time I got into a game real hard. It was when I was going through my divorce and all that, like the wife left, took the kids and everything. Nothing I could do to change anything. So it was kind of escape into playing something.
Yeah. And as I've said in the past, it's a spectrum. I personally defend gaming within a certain spectrum, I guess. But yes, it can go too far, and you can escape to the point where that's your entire life, and like you literally can't balance anything. I've been there,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah,
100%. I've been there,
I was there in
and
my early 20s.
yeah,
That's when I
yeah,
started playing Burning Crusades.
I've never
yes.
done that.
WoW is super addictive. Like if you never experienced anything like it before and you start playing it, you will get sucked in.
Well, I think it depends on some of its personality. If you have my type of personality and you play WoW for the first time, I 100% agree. I think there's some people who that's not their thing and it never will be their thing. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's just a
I would
given.
have a question about both of you guys. 'Cause you both seem to have some sort of ADHD type thing.
Hmm.
I, I find it. Not something I understand. Okay, you go, well, I'd like to get into this, and I got into this, and it was really great, it was marvelous, and I got so far into it, I couldn't concentrate anymore.
Well,
The fuck is that all about?
so I don't think that.
See, my brain doesn't work like that.
Well, hold on. Okay, ADHD from this. I do have ADHD, and Gadwin might as well. But this is separate from ADHD. Yes, it makes it worse, and it becomes a completely separate thing. But that's not what's going on in general with this like gaming addiction. It's addiction. That's all it is. It has nothing to
Yes.
do with your
Ah.
ability to switch tasks or whatever. Like
Okay, my bad.
it's
just
an
hits
addiction.
of dopamine. It hits
Yes.
of dopamine, just boom, boom. You just keep getting hits of dopamine, and that makes you feel good, so you just keep doing it. Simple as that.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah, yeah.
gambling or
It-
anything
it's-
like
it-
drugs.
It's an addiction, but yes, there is some overlap with ADHD and gaming addiction. Like there is all I'm trying to say is not that there's no connection, is that it's not entirely an ADHD thing. It's bigger than that, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't have any kind of ADHD
Yes.
that get sucked into video games.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sorry, derailed a little bit.
That's fine.
I was
it-
interested in.
It's a valid point. Hello, Odd. And I haven't really focused on any chat at all. That's normal for me.
I hyper focused on one thing.
Go back to the ADHD conversation.
ADHD, I'm focused on this, I'm focused on that. Oh, I can't concentrate, I gotta do something else.
It's
Fuck is
It-
that all about?
what sucks is a lot of people thinks that it's a choice. It's not. Like I am literally incapable of doing two things at the same time.
You guys are weird. I can do about 9 things at the same time.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Yeah, I understand.
scrolling FAP.
I don't understand, but yeah.
it's tricky, but on the other, it's a spectrum like everything. On the other end, a lot of people believe that they can quote multitask when that's not humanly possible, and I'll explain what I mean by that.
Yeah.
When you think you're multitasking, you're not doing multiple things at the same time. Your brain is quickly flipping from task to task, and it's very bad for your brain, by the way.
That's a fair
But I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying it's not. It's
Do you think that's worse than ADHD?
probably not. ADHD is pretty bad. Well, there's some pros. Like for example, we have this ability if we're really invested and interested in a specific thing, we have this hyper focus that allows us to be like insanely dedicated and into it. We won't get burned out like average people will. But that's not really. I can only speak for myself. That's not common, and it's rare, and it doesn't happen. Like it's not a constant thing that you can use to your benefit. It's like a rare thing.
It's interesting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks.
But overall, for me, it's a net negative. It harms more than it helps.
But does somebody like myself, who thinks they can do about 9 things all at once. Um, is that more negative thing?
I don't think so. I think that that
Well, they did a
it's
study long ago. People who think they can multitask really can't. They just do both things slower.
well, that's what I just said.
And
But there is some benefit in, let's say that you're doing two things, and both of those things don't require intense concentration. You are providing some benefit. There's utility in that. It's only a problem if you think you're doing a whole lot, but you're actually making each of those things like net negative because you're not investing enough attention and you're kind of half-assing, you know? And so my answer is it depends. Like,
I mean, I'm concentrating. If I'm playing poker, for example, and I'm trying to concentrate because I'm trying to win money, because I need that fucking money. And I'm really, 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 really doing it. You know, how focused am I on doing the other three things like emailing and
so again, if it's things that don't require an insane emotional investment, I guess, or psychological investment, I think it's a positive that you can handle those tasks almost simultaneously. So I think it's a good thing. But I will, using your example, it's a good thing. But in certain circumstances, if it's multiple things that like you could do extraordinarily well, and it's important that you do them extraordinarily well, then it should be one thing at a time.
more difficult because
Yes.
So when people turn around and say, "Well, guys can only concentrate on two things: tits and their dick," women can multitask because we do this, that, and the other. So that's not a true thing.
So it depends on what you mean by it. So again, when we say multitask, so this is going to go back to semantics, like almost everything.
Okay.
When we say multitask, if you mean your brain quickly flips between different things, but you're not doing both things literally in your head at the same time, then yes, that's possible. And some people are better at it than others. But again, we have to concede that what the science has discovered neurologically, there is no literal doing two things at the same time. You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
But after we've conceded that, and you have, yes, what you're describing is a thing. And I do believe that there's research to show that women on average are better at it than men. And that means, yes, they are. They are, as long as we concede they're not actually doing two things at the same time.
No, I think I agree with that.
Right.
It's a bit like the communication thing, isn't it? If you got a group of women sitting around there's about 8 of them sitting around the table having a conversation. They, they're all talking and they can all understand and they can all reply and they're doing this and then a guy comes along and they all shut up. But if the gay guy turns up, they sit down. He's one of the girls, and they carry on. They can all do the conversation. They can have so many different conversations going on at the same time. That was kind of blokes don't do that. They turn.
It's true,
I don't
but like it's hard to say why. The answer to that of like why we see that. So it
I
could
have
be
no issues with that. Like I'll be in groups when we'd be smoking weed, and there'd be like 3 different conversations going on across different people, and I could pay attention to all of them and then respond to them.
well that's true. So okay, I think this is a broad conversation. Obviously, like obviously, it's not saying that this happens with every guy that comes up on every group of women. Like that's just not true. But I do believe that this is true in general. Like this is the stereotype is based on some truth, I guess. And so the question would be, why does that happen more often, at least it seems to, than it does with men? And it could be, this is just me positing a theory, and I could be entirely wrong. It could be the way social dynamics have been for a long time. It's cultural. And this is true of almost every culture, is that men have a sort of hierarchical advantage. They're the leaders. They get to kind of call the shots on average. And so they honestly don't give a shit. They don't care if women think that they're stupid or they disagree or whatever. It's not the same. The dynamics are not the same. If you were a woman, so where I live, things have changed at least a little bit, in my opinion, for the better, and that the male female dynamic isn't quite as black and white, I guess. But I think that I'm kind of jumping around all over the damn place. But in short, I think culture and like sexual dynamics and like roles, gender roles, plays a large factor in what you're describing.
So,
Yeah, it's
so,
more old school.
so like, somebody is more of a leader than another one.
Well,
So they,
it's not just that they're more of a leader, it's that society makes them think that they're more of a leader just
yeah,
because they're a dude, you know?
I mean, at work, my team lead's a woman, and she's great at her job. Like, I get along with her great. Like, and I
Yeah.
work with a bunch of other women too.
And I hate to say it, but in my experience, women on average tend to be better at least social dynamics and work as leaders because they have more empathy in general and they're less likely to view you in like a hierarchical way. Like to a lot of guys, you are only like the culmination of what you bring to like a dominance hierarchy. You know what I mean?
I can,
Like that's all you are. Women don't do that. They tend to, I don't know, be a little bit more empathetic and they actually like account for other factors, in my opinion.
yeah, I completely agree with that.
It's why women tend to be better in general, not always, but in general as like psychologists and therapists.
And plus,
They're more empathetic.
Yes.
and plus on the flip side, and perhaps that maybe people respond better to females in charge who are like that rather
Mhm.
than a guy responding to another guy who's in charge.
Yes. Yes, it goes both ways.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're right. You're right. It's
Cool.
some of it is like it doesn't have to be, hey, I know this about a person, because sometimes it's just feels, it's vibes. That's a dude. And oftentimes just that being a dude leaves you with certain assumptions. And that changes society. That changes how people interact. I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm saying whether you should or not, that's what happens. So it's like we have certain suspicions about people, and oftentimes we don't just go out and fucking ask people. But well, you can't do that anyway because people lie. I'm not saying everyone lies, but people lie.
I think
And
he likes.
and so you can't just go around, hey, dude, are you a piece of shit like homophobe? Like you have to feel it out. You have to bring up conversations and like observe their reaction and see how
Yeah,
they
everybody's an
handle.
individual, so
Yes.
everybody's gonna be different. There is no two same
Exactly.
people.
And because of that, and you can't just ask people, you have to kind of psychoanalyze people. Well, you don't have to, but I think it's very useful.
Oh yeah.
I think we do it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's for protection, basically. You're gonna automatically do it.
Well,
It's-
some people would say that it's manipulative, and to some extent it
I
is,
think,
but it's not wrong, in my opinion.
I think for a few people it would be manipulative. For a few people it would be for power, but for most people it would be protective.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, I'm not educated.
Well, you got your dynamics: sociopaths, psychopaths, empaths.
And
I
most
mean-
people are just people. It's just a protective thing, isn't it? It's a defense thing.
I think so. And the dangerous thing about defense mechanisms is most of the time you're not aware of it, or the person in question is not aware of it. They believe that's what a defense mechanism is. It's a subconscious thing. It makes you believe whatever the lie is because it's protecting you. And that's why it's so dangerous, in my opinion. And yeah,
No, it's over like that.
but like I think awareness is the key to that. And like what I believe my perceived faults were arrived at by critically analyzing when I thought I was in a defense mechanism and why. Like it all starts by shattering the illusion, by you start seeing things that don't add up. Like you'll be like, I've created my identity around this one thing, whatever the subject is, or whatever the emotion, or like your thought about yourself, or whatever. And like, there'll be little inconsistencies. And like, most people will just ignore them because it's uncomfortable. But I think that's the wrong tactic. I think you owe it to yourself to discover truth. That doesn't mean that I've always succeeded. I'm sure I have a number of defense mechanisms in place right now that I haven't even become aware of.
Well, and you sharpen them as you get older. So when you're young, you're kind of naive. You have toxic people come in your life, so you learn, okay, that person did these toxic things, so therefore I'm going to look out for those in the future, and you kind of spot that in other people, and then kind of keep those kind of people away from you.
Yeah,
That's a good point. Sharpening your defense mechanism. You could be sharpening completely the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, if it's from experience, so like you had a narcissist come into your life, you'll see how they're all meek and like act all nice and everything, and then they slowly try and manipulate you and everything, and then become very toxic.
Yeah,
you can learn to spot that from people.
So then you get the second narcissist come to your life, and you do that again, and it becomes like confirmed.
Well, hopefully you don't.
They're like this, and but
the hard part is the emotional reaction you have to that event, which is going to be more than your average person because you have experience with it and it's going to hit you personally.
Yes.
The important thing is to be capable of going, this is not necessarily a pattern. This is how racism happens. This is how sexism happens. It's when you have this experience and it hurts you, and you broadly brush that across an entire huge group of people. The worst is sexism, and the reason why is because that's literally like 50% of the entire population you're calling one thing.
I was getting down to the racism and sexism and all that. You fucking beat me to it, so I'm just...
Sorry. I do that sometimes.
There's some people who think, because one black person did something bad to them, that all the people are the same, and that's why I say don't judge a person by their skin color, their actions.
You just have to live or know of black people in the area where one of them has done something, and your preconceived notions that you've grown up with will go, oh, here we go. See, it was all right in the end, you know. It's like, no.
But I agree with you, but my main point was it's easy to see in racism, for example, but my point is that does not just apply to the obvious situation of racism. It can apply to certain preconceived notions that you've built up about, say, women in relationships. I've done that a lot. I've had bad experiences with relationships in the past, and I didn't realize it till later when I kind of got out of the defense mechanism and kind of grew my awareness, but I was coloring women constantly. As the years went by, I started coloring them as this certain thing to defend myself from that potential harm.
I get to know it first. Like, it seems like I have a common thing when I'm at different jobs here. Like, I always run into these girls that are all nice and everything that everybody else kind of shunned them already, and I've just listened to them and stuff, and then eventually learned why they're shunned by most other people.
I've had more women than most people have had hot dinners, and I was a dog, right? And I learned a bit about this sort of stuff, and I would agree that you build up a picture.
Yes.
Just bullshit, but you build it up in your head, and you get this in your head, and you go there, and you go, oh yeah, I know what you're like, because this one happened to say something that was similar to another one that you.
That's what our brains do. We're designed to spot trends. We're
patterns.
Yes, that's what I was looking for. You're right, and that pattern recognition is a double-edged sword, and it can lead us to thinking shit that's just not objectively based on the evidence.
Well, it's not objective, is it? No, that's
Exactly. But the problem is we think it is.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to get to the point where we're aware of those.
I think that the hard part is, it might be the hard part, but it's to be aware of those and to apply that thinking in the moment, which is
Absolutely. But because
you know,
in the moment is when the defense mechanism is more at play. It's defending your everything. Like that's what it's there for.
I take in everything, like how they walk, how they talk, everything like that, like their work ethic, shit like that. Like I can add it
Right.
all into a big picture, and
I
it really
do
tells
as
you a lot
well.
about a person.
I agree, and I completely defend that. The
I
the the
would-
difference is you are taking things that you can measure objectively. You're not jumping to a conclusion without the evidence just based on personal experience. You're taking an amalgam, like a large portion of different traits that line up. And once you have enough of those, you can be pretty safe. You can be pretty safe in your
Assumptions.
assumption. Yeah, I was going to say judgment, but it's not necessarily a judgment. It's like
Yeah, you're just assuming things at times.
yes. Now it is true it's an assumption, but it's a logical assumption. As long as you have various pieces of evidence to lead you to your whatever your assumption is,
you
not
know,
just one thing.
I would say about both of you who are on this sort of thing. Just button. Just sorry. Yes, it may be a logical assumption, but I would say two things. One, more mushrooms. Two, for fuck's sake, loosen up.
Well, I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. In fact, this entire system is designed to keep us from being caught off guard by potential future shit. And it does very good at that. Like it seems like you're almost asking us to like there's this system that is designed to get you to see things that most people won't ever see. And it's like, hey, that's a bad thing. Get rid of that. Like, why would we want to?
Oh no, I don't mean that.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I
Definitely.
need that.
Then-
That's my own
then-
protection.
Right. So what do you mean?
I love things like rationality and logic and
Right.
I'm a little bit that way inclined myself.
Mhm.
Not to the extreme, but you know, um, just let it fucking go sometimes.
I agree with that. So that's another thing. It's a like
Huh?
this phenomenon serves a purpose 100%, and it's an important purpose. But sometimes when your brain is wired a certain way, you get obsessed because you can't turn the damn thing off. And I do that. But the problem is
Video
it's
game.
hard. It's so that you're right about that. That's another reason why video games, that distraction, it serves as a way to get you to turn off this constantly looking at contingencies and possibilities like
That's
your
the great
brain.
thing about games. It switches the brain off, and you're just reactive. So you're reacting to what's on the screen. You're not thinking about abstract things or anything like that. It just literally
Yes.
turns the brain off.
Yes, and that's why I ended up pretty much quitting. I still drink occasionally, but one reason why I loved alcohol so much, and that's why I quit it, because it was dangerously loved it, is because it shut my fucking brain off. It made it to where I didn't have to constantly think. I could just relax. I couldn't. Do you know what I mean? Like I
I'm
couldn't.
overly analytical about everything. Like I'm always thinking about all kinds of different shit.
Me too, and that's why alcohol was so like great. It just caused it to where I could shut all that shit off.
That's why I liked weed. Weed basically it slowed everything down, and you just could relax and not have all that
Are there
going
not
through.
are there not other techniques you could use?
There are, but like I'll just be honest. Alcohol is a quick, cheap fix. It's the easiest way. It's like you don't have to go through a whole lot of effort and meditation or whatever to get there.
You guys are not fucking stupid enough to think that the best.
No, I don't drink alcohol. Like to me, alcohol's always brought out the worst.
It has me too. I
The best way to do it? I don't know. You guys are more experienced in this. I like this because I can ask questions because I know fuck all. Right? But when you're gonna sit there I blow you. Oh, I'm gonna suck on this joint beer now. I'm gonna off my fucking head. I'm gonna kill a few aliens on the computer because I need to chill out my bit. Is there not a better way to do this? I
Well,
don't
you go
know.
to work all day, you have all that bullshit from work, you come home, you just want to relax and just kill
Yeah,
some time until it's time for
Well,
bed.
so it depends on what you mean by that. So if you mean by better way, like in terms of you're not really doing anything productive,
a
I'm
less
not.
invasive way.
If this is what you mean, there is like no matter what you would do to plug in place of video games, it would be something unproductive because anything productive is going to cause you more anxiety. It's not going to be an escape. Like an escape, at least in this way that I'm talking about, is kind of defined by its lack of significance. Like you're not going to fuck the world up by like doing this. You don't have all of these contingencies to worry about involving it because it doesn't affect the greater world to that extent.
I
If you
I
look at the
I,
bad things people do, I mean, some people sit around and eat a tub of fucking ice cream or pile their face full of food while watching TV,
I
and they
think
don't
that's the
learn a damn
worst.
thing, and they
That's the
become
worst.
obese.
I
I
have
mean,
not got a brain like you people have got. But I'm just trying to learn, so I ask questions.
Right.
I'm,
Right. Well,
I can
it's
sit down and I can play a game of Halo or something. I played the campaign in Halo how many times? 50 times? And I'll just put it on and play it again just to
mhm.
switch my brain off. But it doesn't seem to be the same as you guys are doing.
well,
Maybe like
I don't play repetitive things like the same thing. I get burned out, and then I move on to something new. Like I have 120 games on Steam, so
yeah.
I kind of burn through shit.
I personally I'm similar, but I do stick with the same game, but I specifically look for games with what I call replay value, meaning you can continue to stay with that one game and do different shit and even multiple different types of shit without it just crashing and burning. Like
There's very few that I found that
that's
can get
true.
that. Like Total War is the only one I can really get a
So,
lot of replay out
so,
of it, and I'm playing different factions.
so
Mhm.
what's the difference?
Honestly, I
And
can't.
if I play the Halo campaign games, for example, or the Tomb Raider games, I only play the campaign games. I don't go online or something like that. So it's the same all the time. You just play it, you get better at it, it gets more comfortable.
Uh,
That
I
switches me
I
off.
have to like just being honest from my perspective, not speaking for Gadwin, but I have to say I don't have the answer. The reason why I don't understand why you get what you get out of it. I'm not in your head. Like we're too different. Like I don't understand why you do it in the first place.
I was trying to get what you
Oh,
kind of
oh, okay.
do it because I my brain doesn't work like that, obviously. So what?
So it's
Dopamine.
it's
I,
hard. That's the easy answer. Yes, dopamine. It's an addiction, and well, it don't have to be an addiction, but yes, dopamine's the simplest answer. But even that's simple. It's too simple. It's not really answering your question, although it's the truth. Uh, I've tried my best. It's hard to really catch in depth. Like, so there's certain people that are more prone to it than others. And one thing that shows up in common is anxiety. The more anxious you are in general, the more likely you are to adopt this pattern of the dopamine pattern of gaming. Because it's very effective and there's little drawback compared to other like Gadwin brought up eating ice cream and getting fat and all that's common and that's worse. That's measurably worse.
Yeah, diabetes is through the roof here in
Yes,
America.
but there's also drawbacks. I don't want to like come off like I'm saying that video games have absolutely no harmful effects whatsoever because that's
Kill
bullshit.
productivity.
Yes, there's drawbacks, but I would say overall, it's one of the if moderated properly, it's one of the best escapes you can possibly get, especially for the money. Like I know people around me that are like I was in a gun thing for a while, and I like guns, but I'm not like hardcore like I was. I was kind of obsessive. Do you know how expensive that fucking hobby is?
Too
like
expensive.
I
like
don't, I
le-
don't stand it at all.
Well, loving cars is another. You know how
Mhm.
expensive that is?
I guess, yeah. I can
Like,
I did that in my younger days.
video games is not extremely dangerous as far as like finances go. It really just takes time, and you could, depending on how you look at it, you could say, yeah, you're sucking your time away, and that's the most valuable resource on the planet. That's true, but how you define a proper use of time is subjective. Like, I don't believe there's any such thing, and a lot of people will disagree with me on this, as an objective purpose. There is no purpose that applies to all people automatically.
I don't
Well,
think
there's something I took from it because I have a bunch of like train simulators, farming simulators. Like, if you're not going to be a conductor of a train, like you're not going to have your own train enterprise or anything like that. So playing the games lets you actually do those things, or if you want to be a farmer and do farming, because you ain't going to buy like a $250,000 tractor and all this shit, like $1 million farm. You can just get to do that on a video game and actually experience that in a way that's feasible for you.
Yeah.
So, rather than play games, is there, like, I'm just reading chat and I'm just thinking, is there other things that you can do that would actually be more productive?
Well,
Games aren't really productive apart from
I can again, I can only answer for myself and my personal opinion, but I kind of already answered by saying that even if you were to replace games for this specific purpose that I've described, for me anyway, it would always be something that you would consider unproductive, because the moment it's productive, it causes more anxiety, not less. That defeats the whole purpose of doing it in the first place.
Well, it's just to fill a hole. Like, some people fill that hole with alcohol, drugs, sex, like other things. I mean, video games is the least problematic one.
I temporarily muted you. You're going to need to turn off the YouTube version. Now it's still doing it.
Oh, is it echoing?
Yeah. You need to turn off YouTube or something.
No, it does that sometimes. I'll come back.
Okay. That was JT. I didn't know who it was at first.
Yeah, he never has his name up some stupid emojis and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, your brains obviously don't work like mine.
That's true. That's true. Well, my brain doesn't work like damn near anyone's. I have a very strange brain.
Yeah.
Admittedly.
Yeah, I've always had issues
I
fitting
like
in. So.
I like Traffin with Godwin. I think he's fine. I get cool with him. A lot of people don't, because he is not normal, as I say, inverted commas. You know?
Mhm.
He's a bit
Yeah, I've
straight.
noticed.
I've always considered it a positive.
You know me, God. I don't mean to be a twat or anything.
Well, I don't consider it a negative. When people say weird or abnormal, it's a positive to me. I'm not saying that just to be nice.
But
I honestly consider it a positive.
you're not a horsey. You're not a herd.
Yes,
Yeah,
and that I
I'm
think
my
that
own.
is so much better than being a cookie, like a copy and paste.
Yeah.
Like,
America cookie cutter.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's one of the reasons why I like Godwin. And yourself, to be fair.
Well, we're not tribalistic so we don't try to fit in with the herd. We're more want to just be our own selves and do what we want to do, not try to
Yeah.
do what everybody else does. Which I put a video in the Discord about that. Why some people don't like sports, kind of, and it plays into the tribalist mentality and stuff like that.
I replied to that. I actually watched that before you posted it. It was an like I saw it. It was really cool, and I agreed with it.
Yep. I hate sports. Like, I'll play sports, but I cannot stand to sit there and watch it. It's like your brain's like, I want to go to sleep.
To me, I think this is not entirely just random, subjective, like you like what you like. There is psychology that goes into sports people, and I don't just mean you like a sport. I mean, your hardcore sports types. They're very, to me, it's not a good thing, but they're very tribal by nature. They're
I changed from hardcore sports type person. I was, I Americans would say up to college level. I was pretty good, But I changed because my priorities changed.
right.
Some don't. I think I agree with you in that the people who want to be the best of the best of the best are too fixated on everything's like they will push their family aside together. I just disagree with it. I've seen
Yeah.
it. So, oh, that's my personal experience. As a general rule, I don't know, but it just seems to be they are so focused. Everything goes by the wayside. But if it fails, they got nothing left.
Right.
Yeah.
It comes with age too, Mal. As you grow, you learn and apply your wisdom
Yeah.
to your life.
If you have a brain.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people, like, it seems like more of the sports oriented types. By the time they get around 50s, 60s, they tend to shift their mindset a bit. They start thinking more inward and stuff, but your
That's
younger
true.
people are just kind of.
I want to kind of cover a possibility real quick because I've thought at it from a different angle, and I want to make sure that I'm not taken like as a straw man. So when I talk about sports types, I'm not talking about enjoying a sport in general. Like sometimes I like MMA. I'm talking about the type that's like bandwagon. They get stuck on like they happen to live in, say, Oakland, and they're an Oakland Raiders diehard, and it becomes their life. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about liking football.
Well, they're somewhere else now. The Raiders
I
moved,
think
I
those.
forget.
Oh, right, right.
I think those people would be like that in any situation in Oakland.
Yes. So that's a good example. It shows you that I'm not that sports person. I don't know shit about any of this, but like there's nothing wrong with enjoying a particular sport. To me, it's what I'm talking about is the people that are so tribal that it's not even about, hey, this particular team is good. And I'm gonna go. Let's root for them. Not something crazy like it's part of their identity, but just like, hey, I want this team to win this year.
So
You know what I'm talking about. There's hundreds of thousands of people, especially in soccer, what some of you would call football, that like they kill each other.
yeah, Manchester United supporters who live in Korea.
What the hell?
Fuck is that all about?
What the
I mean,
hell?
Look at Philly. Philly is one of the worst. If the Eagles win or lose, they will burn
Yeah.
down their city.
Yep. That is true. That is very true.
They're just
I've
crazy
never,
people.
ever understood that mental thing at all.
It's tribalism. It's like it's also a mentality of like they equate. They're so simple minded. They equate that excitement with destruction. So that's why it doesn't matter if it's a win or a loss.
Of course not. They would be like that with anything anyway.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just an outlet. You're right.
I don't mean to bring Trump up, but just as a 5-second one, right? That it's the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody piles in. You have to believe. You just have to, because you haven't got anything else.
Yep.
Well, they could have something else. It's just they think not to.
They don't, do they?
Let me break in for just a second. JT, are you just being polite, or is your audio?
No, I am. I'm just being polite.
Okay, I was just checking.
He's sitting and listening like a good boy.
JT, button, carry on. Jeez, what do I know? Yeah, it's
the subject was it was like video games, and now it's like shifted to sports, or people who like sports teams.
Mentality of
a little bit. For me, I'm kind of weird compared to other people, but I tend to look at things through a psychological lens because that's what's interesting to me. So it's not sports; it's why people or why specific sports fans think the way they do. That's kind of like the lens through which I look at it, at least.
Is it a belonging thing?
I think that's what tribalism is. It's like that's essentially the root of it. It's like, to me, it's a problem, but like they have no identity outside of this tribalism. So that's who they are. It's all they are. And that's dangerous because like if you
like, right? But Elon Musk would be in that group and go, fuck this.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he?
For me, is always growing up, I'd seen all the people around me always clamoring about sports. Oh, it's a Super Bowl. It's a whatever NASCAR bullshit. And I had zero interest in it whatsoever. And I always wondered, why don't I fit in with the rest of the people who are enamored with this
Because you're weird or gay
Weird or
Don't
gay.
roll that one out.
or both. Yeah.
So
Oh, they're probably a gay sports fan.
it's all of the above. I don't have to have an or.
Oh, or.
I am like any insult you can think of. I am trans, gay, bisexual, fucking Hispanic. I'm like whatever you think is bad, that's me.
You're
Oh
like
man, if you've seen some of the Latinas I work with, woo, buddy.
a little bit of prostate.
Oh, I've honestly always had a sort of low key attraction to Latina girls. I won't lie.
I like dark skin, so to me, I work with like Somalians and like different Africans and Latinos.
I don't
Ricans.
dislike dark skin, but I've always had a thing aesthetically for the in between, like the mocha sort of, like the beige, not beige,
Say beige.
tan. Well, kind of tannish to like. I like that.
Asian American type thing.
Yeah, I like that skin tone.
I think
I got a woman from Africa keeps calling me her husband and stuff like that, so now I call her my wife at work.
Oh yeah.
I just like the ones that are desperate enough, drunk enough, or lonely enough to say where they come from.
Those are your favorite.
You can't say you don't have a type. Yeah.
I don't have a specific type as long as they're not like a narcissistic, toxic person.
I
I'm
don't give a
good.
shit. I don't care.
So I'm the
I
same.
had a conversation. It's Saturday night, 2:00 in the morning.
I care more about like aesthetics. Again, I just covered it. I do care about aesthetics, but in my experience, compared to your average dude, it's way less than normal. My main things are like body language, the little things I pick up about personality. Personality is everything. Like I've seen this weird thing about the right in general, where there's this thing where dudes on the right are mad that women on the left won't date them. And I don't understand this because I care about who people are. And what that means is I don't have the opposite problem. If a conservative woman doesn't like me, that's a good thing because I consider her a piece of shit. And I don't say that because I'm on the left. I say that because her brain is literally wired to make her immoral. And I can literally show you that objectively. So, like, why the fuck would I give a shit about what she thinks?
Well, don't both sides think that each other's like
Yes.
immoral?
And
But,
that's why I just said what I just did, because it's not just partisan, because I can objectively show you through metrics why they are immoral.
Could
Factually.
they say this? I mean, they could arguably say the same thing. But the point is,
No, they couldn't.
why would you want to be with someone who has a completely different value system?
I agree. That's what matters more than anything is your values and whether they line up.
So why would you be pissed off that a woman who has an opposite value system of yours doesn't want you? Like, shouldn't you not want to have?
I completely agree. I don't understand it. It's so weird to me.
I've never even heard of this. Like, I mean, politics is so divisive these days. I don't. I can't even imagine somebody like getting upset about that. Like, why would they want to be with us?
Well. There's one issue is sorry, Gadwin. We talked at the same time, but one issue is that women tend to go more toward liberal. That's just true. That's part of their biology. So you have less to choose from if you're a conservative male. I think that's part of it, but it's not all of it.
In my experience, before politics became so divisive, too, of like my ex-wife she's from Texas, like she was very like kind of conservative, Republican minded, and I literally flipped her completely over to left voting. She voted for Hillary and freaking Kamala and everything else. Like,
I got a couple of things. Like, if the other side, another conservative, what do you call it, liberal side, right, turned you down, would you consider them to be in the same level as a conservative one? Because they obviously don't think the same as me, because they don't like me, because of my views. I find that a bit weird. The other thing being is, what if they're just a sheep and they don't really think like that?
well, that's a lot of it.
I don't
how they're
care.
raised.
To me, I don't care because that still reflects on their values. If they're a sheep that's going to use something for social benefit or whatever, they're manipulative and they're still a piece of shit. Like there's no,
I just follow.
okay, that's possible. But then, so this is just me. Maybe they're not a piece of shit. Maybe they're just following and they don't know any better. So if I think they're a good person, I will make an attempt to get them to see what is actually true. Yeah. And if they're like, if I'm able to, then maybe there's a chance. But it really depends. Like, there's so many things we don't know. We can't get inside people's heads. So it depends on why they are the way they are.
Well,
or at least
I
why
will
they think they are.
I mean, I agree. I'm just digging a bit, you know?
Right.
So
That's fair.
So, like, if you couldn't convert a woman to your value systems, is she a piece of shit, or how does that?
No, not necessarily. It depends on what we're talking about. So this is why I say what I do, and people hate this because everyone wants politics to just be arbitrary. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just your opinion. No, it's not. It's literally tied to your personality. And we can tell this because you can know absolutely nothing about a person using just the Big Five personality scale. You can literally do a personality test and tell with 99% accuracy where they fall on a political spectrum. That tells you that it's not arbitrary.
It's not a personality test?
Yes, it's 100% personality based, which means it's not just your experience in life. It's who you are.
It mainly has to do with your values. Like
exactly. But your values are directly dependent on your personality.
Yeah, everything you like is dependent on your personality.
Exactly. Yes, and so that's what I'm saying. So when we do this thing where we go, you dislike someone just because they're on the opposing spectrum politically? Yes, because that different spectrum literally makes them, their brain operates differently than mine does. We are incompatible.
Yeah, there's a big difference between like a conservative-minded person and a liberal-minded person's brain, and amygdala is a big part of that.
And so I guess I have to admit this is subjective on some level, but I think most people, if you were to kind of trick them, I guess, even conservatives, and you were to describe literally what conservatism is on its base level, they will say that that is wrong. You have to trick them to do that, though. But then you go into the actual like peer-reviewed research into that is what drives conservatives. Then they'll like start doing this crazy shit where they're like, they'll backpedal and change the subject and be like, no, that's not what that meant. That's weird, like liberal conspiracy shit.
That's what they want you to think. My uncle would always say that. That's what they.
Yeah, exactly. It's always some conspiratorial shit too.
Conservatism about conserving specific value systems, like basically like trying to convert what they consider like the Christian values.
I don't know if it's me. I'm the only one, but I'm having trouble hearing you, JT.
Yeah, I was wondering if your mic's maybe up or something.
Let me see.
Hello.
You're completely maxed out on my end.
Sorry.
Do you have your webcam in a drawer?
Ooh.
Yeah.
By the way, Odd, I saw in chat earlier, maybe you were talking about something completely different. And if so, that's completely fine, but I just want to cover it just in case. It's probably unrelated, but whenever I said earlier that like we were talking at the same time, I was talking to Gadwin. You have not interrupted at all.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, my voice
okay.
was like.
So you okay? You were talking about something different. Then never mind. It's kind of lowish, but I can make you out.
No, I'll even go back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very muffled. It's almost like there's a pillow on top of this mic. You try to talk.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was just me or what, because I really wanted to hear what he's saying, because he sounds like he's kind of doing what I do sometimes, and Mal does, where he'll dig into the motivation behind what you said. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to avoid it or something. I just don't know what he's asking.
Yeah.
I like conversations like this.
I do too.
I know fuck all about it. I just ask questions. I just ask questions and go, oh, right, yeah.
Well,
good.
I am on that same topic. I am very opinionated, and sometimes I have a very strong opinion about something.
Yes, you are.
That doesn't mean that I know what I'm talking about. So,
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I'm a babbling idiot. So
yeah.
Right.
At least we're self-aware.
I'm,
Better?
I'm your
much better.
It seems to be better. Yes.
I'm your typical Brit, really. With some sort of thinking process. We'll sit and wait, and we'll let you talk, and then we'll ask something, and then we'll dig a bit deeper, and then we'll ask something, and we'll get the answer, and we go, "Oh, fine, thanks very much." Because
I do that as
we don't
well.
want to be aggressive, and we don't
Well-
want to go, "You're talking shit," so we don't do that.
You seem to start that as like we Brits, as if it's a negative thing. Everything you just described is how people should be. That's
You like having a conversation, like a normal.
well,
Yeah,
he's-
I think it's a general thing with Brits who can converse.
uh-huh.
I
I
think
don't
it's
see
an
it as a
older person
negative
thing.
thing. I see it as
No, it's not
positive.
negative. It's just the way we are.
Okay.
I think anybody who learns how to have a conversation learns to listen. When you
Yeah,
can learn
well-
to listen and then
Well, that's the
apply.
important thing is by doing what you just described, you have the capacity to observe and take in information. Your average person, especially extroverts, no offense, but they have a tendency to, as you're talking, they take the very beginning of what you said and they already have something that they want to say as like a gotcha, if it's an argument, or even if it's not, they
Rebuttal.
have something that they want to add. And
Yeah.
they're in their head, they're stuck with that, so they don't hear a fucking word you say after that gets in their head.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
And
like
that's-
they're not listening to you. They're waiting to like respond.
Exactly.
I'm trained differently to that, and I've learned differently to that as I've moved on.
Well, obviously, even if that's not your style, if you're emotional about a topic, like sometimes when we're talking religion, for example, I'll get kind of invested and a little emotional about it because I care about the topic. And in those cases, I will do what I just described. I will cut someone off because I have a point. I really need to get it. I think it's just human nature to some extent.
I think a lot of people do that.
Yes. Well, I try to catch it when it happens or after the fact. Sometimes I'll do a live stream and then afterward I'll put in my live stream notes like, I kept interrupting people. I'm so sorry. Like, I'll try to do better.
Yeah, I think you find in meetings, you have meetings like this when you got 5 or 6 people there, that everybody is muted and you have to request to talk.
Oh.
That's, yeah.
Play
Well-
World of Warcraft and you got 40 people all on live or microphones at once.
So,
Yeah.
Melody, to include you here, there's not just one personality test. So that is true of almost all of them, but the Big Five is the most psychometrically valid of all. And no, it is not true that what did you say? I can't find it
What's this
right now.
personality test crap? I hear of it occasionally.
Inclusive?
Can you, like, do
She
a
said that
fucking
they
post with,
are
like, a
not-
universal one, and we'll all run through it occasionally and put
Uh-huh.
our results up or something. That could be fun, eh?
Inconclusive, flawed.
You can
Yes.
find out on
Yeah,
actual
they're flawed
rational
and not and
normal guys.
inconsistent, and that is not true about the Big Five. In fact, it's been repeated multiple times, and you'll take the same individual but use different questions, but the same standard, and it will always show up as the same result because it's actually a valid test.
So this will prove I'm not nuts.
Did you say the Big Five was able to accurately gauge somebody's political values with 100%?
Now that's true. Every political test I've ever seen has at least some flaws. It's like gauging political shit is extremely
That's subjective.
complicated. Well,
It has to-
it's subjective, true, but it's also complicated, so you can't easily measure it.
It has to be.
That's true, but like we have so many different measurements, even like the quadrant system, even the one, and I think it's better than the obvious, like the really simplified version, but the one that says libertarian and you can be a left-leaning or a right-leaning libertarian, even that one's not exactly accurate.
No, you can't be exactly accurate. It's not
Right.
possible.
I agree.
Politics moves. It just does. I mean, the
Uh,
politicians themselves will show how quickly and how much politics moves is
Right.
when their political party that they are currently affiliated to is, and their big guns in it, is absolutely completely getting smashed to the ground and it's going to be obliterated They will jump ship and go somewhere else and go, well, I believe this.
Yep, that's true.
So,
Melody, so we were talking about two different things. So I'm talking about the big five specifically. You're talking about Myers-Briggs, and I agree. Myers-Briggs is very flawed.
I put it in the private chat if you want to link the Big Five test thing up.
Let me see.
Yeah,
won't
cool,
let me.
Gates, running through it now.
You'll have to give me a moment because I'm ADHD and I can't do two things at once. Well, I don't see it.
we've done that one.
Oh, now I
In
see it.
private? Yeah, it's in the private. Yeah, it won't let me post it in the main.
Okay.
Is this intelligence tests or?
No, it's not a
Personality
mental
test.
test.
So,
Okay.
well, before we even look at this, I have to go ahead and get a disclaimer. If you take a personality test online, it's not psychometrically valid. You have to have it administered by a psychologist or a trained professional. Now, I'm not saying this is bullshit because it could be relatively accurate, but it's not going to have the same level of accuracy.
Well, you got to be honest
But-
with yourself and not try to skew your results.
Well, you need to
That's
have
true.
somebody. Yeah, you got to have it administered by a professional that does that. I would think you can't just do it
takes a
yourself.
long time. 3 pages of them, only 5%. This is going to take fucking
Yeah,
20
it's called
minutes.
Big Five because it's measuring 5 basic
Do you
things.
not think
Yes.
you're assuming? Do you not think that you're assuming this professional, who was just like you, sitting across from there, but they went to school, are capable? No, it's just a
Well, I'm
thought.
saying they're gonna try to be more objective about it than like if you're doing it yourself.
Yeah, good. I'm a brickie.
Well, that's what they're trained for.
Yeah.
They're trained to eliminate bias and to. It
That's
doesn't
why
mean
I
it's
say if you
perfect.
want it to be done accurately, you'd probably have to get
Yes.
it done by somebody who administers those kind of tests. Like,
See,
Yes.
you sit there and you think that they're going to administrate this test unbiasedly, etc., because they've been to college and they're educated and they've got, he's got a degree
well,
in it.
I'm saying on average, if you want to accurate. Well, no, all I'm saying is like if you wanted to get the most accurate results for a test like that, you'd probably get it done by.
I'm a bus driver.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I don't know the fuck these
I'm not
are.
even saying that. I'm not even talking about how legitimate the test is or who is administering. I'm just saying, if you want to test about yourself, it probably to do it yourself you're probably going to have some kind of.
Well,
It's
like
Yeah.
cancer.
Well,
You gotta
one
test
problem
yourself,
is one problem with testing yourself. Let's say that the test is 100% accurate in how it's drawn up, right? When you take it yourself, you need to understand that your average human being has very shitty self-awareness. You are biased by your perception of yourself. So you're not going to get accurate results unless you are an extremely self-aware person.
Well, I like to take them multiple times and see if I get the same results.
Maybe I don't know what you call it. Maybe super duper autistic type.
So
Where you've got no bias. I don't know what they call it. Psychopath, maybe. I don't know.
so
The thing is, though, nobody's going to be able to objectively test themselves on hardly
No.
anything. And
No.
then not even a person who administers the test is going to be like 100% objective.
no.
Just talking about trying to get as accurate as possible.
Yes, you're right.
Be so fucking biased, man.
See, I got tested when I was 16 years old. The guy came round to my house, and he came round and he done all this kind of psycho test, blah 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 blah. And he told me basically this is what my brain told me. He told me I was not well in the head, so I hit him with his chair.
Did
Get a
he
second opinion?
lobotomize you?
Yeah, I hit him with a chair. Don't call me a nutter.
Well, back in those days, they gave people lobotomies for that kind of thing. They didn't give you one, did they?
Maybe not that far back, huh? Not that far back, guys. But basically, he told me I was not well in the head, so I hit him with a chair because I was not well in the head, and I said, "Don't tell me I'm not well in the head." So,
I had a similar kind of response.
you know,
I went through many different like psychiatrists and shit like that. Some of them I broke, some of them are great, some of them weren't worth being paid.
Where the fuck does Catholicism come from? Into
this
the
is this was
Topic.
my question earlier on. Was that why should I sit there as a bus driver? Believe this guy knows what the fuck he's on about. If there is so much disparity between all the people who are supposedly qualified to administer this test to me.
No, I'm just saying if you give the test itself any merit at all, you'd probably want it administered by somebody who's like
Yeah,
trained.
but
Absolutely.
so according to Godwin, if I get 5 of these guys down to, or women, whoever, to come down and test me with this thing, I'm gonna get 3 different results out of 5.
Well, no, I
Possibly.
think what he's saying, and I'm not claiming to be an expert on the Big Five, but apparently if it's administered properly, the results are going to be pretty consistent regardless.
And that is how you tell that a personality test is better than others, because it's repeatable and you can do it to the same person and you get consistent results. That is how you tell that it's
Right.
better. And that's actually what I'm pulled up right now. This is the reason why that it's considered better. Due to its evidence-based development, high predictive power for life outcomes, and consistent replication across cultures. It is by far, the most respected personality test in any psychology circles around the world.
Okay.
Yeah, but self-giving the test compared to a therapist giving you the test removes, what
You're
have
right.
that self-bias there.
That's
and
what
thought
I.
that was your. Well, I thought
That
that
was
was
the
your
point, yeah.
original argument.
No.
So the actual test that you're using is not irrelevant, but like as long as it's universal, it can be cancelled out of the question here. You're talking about. Well, originally it was because people do it to themselves. They obviously give themselves a bit of, I'm a little bit better than I really am because I'm doing it to myself. Bias.
They can bullshit themselves, but yeah, you're not gonna really.
Is a test like that? I know. Jack
We don't deny that at all. Do any of us? I believe we all think that.
No, I think we were talking about more of the legitimacy of the test itself compared to other
I did
person.
read
Right.
what you pulled up.
Well,
I did read what you pulled up,
yeah.
Probes. I didn't see that as in the answer properly. That's why I'm.
No. So the reason why we're on different wavelengths is because we're coming at this from different angles. The reason why I pulled it up in the first place is because Melody was getting contentious that I'm biased because I said that this is a more valid test. And by the way, most psychologists agree. So it's not just some random dude on the internet. You can look that up yourself. The only reason I posted it is because she seems to think that all personality tests don't really measure anything, and that's bullshit. Or that all of them are equally flawed, etc., which is also bullshit.
My question was going to be:
Yeah, I definitely.
if I test something psychologically, does the psychology kind of thing work like the same?
Yeah, so psychology is what we call a soft science.
Okay.
It's not obvious. It's not like fucking physics, but it's not. It's also not what a lot of people like to think of it. Like, oh, some random dude just made up some shit and put it in a book, and everybody believes it now. That's not how it works. In fact, in order for it to even go forward at all in psychology circles, it has to be peer reviewed and it has to be repeatable, and you have to show that it's actually measuring something.
I never knew that. I really
Yes.
Yeah,
It's trying to match up people's thoughts with their
does make it
behaviors.
actually scientific. Right?
Yes.
Or whatever. Yeah.
I've always thought that how the fuck do you measure that like you do?
Well, no, they're the only way to measure. They're trying to
Now.
they're trying to match personality traits, like the way people think, with certain behaviors. That's the only way they can measure.
Yeah. Yes.
It's very much statistical science now.
Yeah, they're basically saying
Yes.
if you do this shit or if you think like this, then you're more like this. Like,
Yes. And that's the right way to look at it. It's not a black or white thing. It's a probability thing. It's like the higher you are, like for instance, openness is one of the big 5. The higher you are in openness, according to the research, the more likely you are to be liberal, the more likely you are to be empathetic toward other people. And using this system, it's almost, I don't want to say perfect, but it's the closest thing we found as human beings to measuring personality in human beings. This goes back to what we were talking about before, like with politics. It's so complicated that some simple system isn't going to perfectly. It's the same. It's not perfect, but it's the closest thing we have.
I'm going to be able to write a proof out about it.
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, it's cool. So it's statistical.
But it's not like a thing where it's like a lot of people get offended anytime they're labeled. It's not like I just put this label on you and that is who you are. Like you shouldn't look at it that way.
No, I mean it's looking at 5 specific traits. Like and it's basically gauging like where you are on each of those, and then it's
Yes.
That's what I see it's doing. I'm not an expert on it. I'm just looking at it, but
Right. You're right. That's exactly what it is.
Yes, you could write a whole book on the evidence of it, or if I was religious, evidences.
Right.
But it's not like I would write a proof of mathematics or something like that.
no, I'm just saying like they study in people, human behavior. They're saying these 5 personality traits seem to stand out amongst every person, and they can gauge where you're at on, you know.
I had
on
a similar conversation once. I used to date a forensic psychologist, and she's world famous and stuff like that. Like, and she tried to explain this to me, and I still didn't get it. I don't quite get it. I'd like to see the
I
follow.
mean, it's not really. I'm just reading it. It's not that complicated. Like, there's 5 things. It's called Big 5. It's like 5 things. Openness to experience is the
Yeah, for
first.
sure. They're not going to be what would you call it? Independent. They're not mutually exclusive, are they?
No, they're not mutually. It's a spectrum. It's not a.
No,
It's
they're
never
saying,
black
they're
and
saying on
white.
each of those 5 traits, you could be high or low or anywhere in between, basically. On those.
Yes.
And they're saying that as the culmination of those 5 traits and where you lie on each of those 5 gives a rough idea, a rough outline of the kind of person you are, and the kind of behaviors and shit you might have.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I couldn't write a formal proof out about it. It's more statistical.
Yes, but statistics are factual in nature. Like we can say through repeatable evidence that these people that took this test showed up high in this particular area, this particular area, this particular area, and it shows borne out by the evidence in who they are and how they act and how they manipulate the world, so to speak, how they interact with people, etc. Like it's again, it's not perfect, but it works very well for what it's there for.
Court evidence.
How?
The preponderance of the
But
evidence.
man, they're not saying that they're giving you a blueprint or an outline of like who you are. They're just saying like it gives a rough idea of like something about you, not like.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I know.
And it's also worth noting, and what I was saying before about psychology, it is a soft science, but again, nothing is accepted in psychology without mountains of evidence, and that applies to all of it. Like
I think the one thing you will get in those kind of fields is studies by the 100.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
Which goes back to repeatability. And
you can't write that formal proof, can it? So
true.
You need the evidence.
Yes.
Okay.
And unlike religion, it's falsifiable. You can go backward and try to prove it wrong.
Yeah, I like that.
I was jabbing at JT there.
Yeah.
Oh, was that? I didn't even. Yeah.
You're so used to me being an atheist, like you don't even. It doesn't do anything anymore.
Honestly, I just don't. I at this point, I'm not. I really don't give a fuck about
fucking atheist.
belief.
Fair.
He's immune.
He's immune.
Yeah, I'm very desensitized to like people's opinions.
Vaccinated. Yeah. Thanks for that because I really. It's weird. It's just a weird thing to me not to be able to say, well, sure, I can prove it. I'll write it down for you. Yeah.
Right.
It's just something that's I've just been trained to do so much. I just do it.
Mm-hmm.
So when they get things like that, like you were just saying, yeah, you got preponderance of evidence that says, but that's just weird.
Yeah.
I still turn around and say, yeah, but I still have that, yeah, but
About what specifically?
About the preponderance of evidence saying that this is how it works. I could see it, I could understand it, but I was still.
No one's saying that's exactly how it works. They're just saying it's the best thing that people have come up with to try and understand other people.
And not only that, but what you're saying about preponderance of evidence, it is there. There is preponderance of evidence. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist like in its state today. That's how psychology works. Again, we don't just go like Sigmund Freud. People are like, hey, I like that guy. And then he says some shit and then we just follow it. That's not how psychology works.
No.
Like
course.
It requires
No, a lot of it is trying to link beliefs and thoughts and shit with certain traits, like psychological traits. Like,
Yes.
so they're trying to link behaviors, thoughts, beliefs, emotions, shit like that with certain traits or like patterns. Basically. That's what
Yes.
they're doing.
Yeah, it's just not something I've dug into, so I don't
I
understand.
mean, it's kind of. I mean, people could take. It's like anything, you know. You could be shitty at it, or you could, you know. There's people that are better at it. Like, there's a lot of whack jobs out there that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But then
That's
it doesn't mean that the whole field itself is completely bullshit either. Like,
No,
obviously,
Yeah.
I think this lady I was dating for a while. She's like world famous and stuff, and she's written books.
well, clearly psychology works. Look at fucking marketing and look at the economy. Like, most of the structures of the way shit works in society is based on fucking psychology. Really, it's based on how people think.
Adverts and propaganda.
And their understanding of how people think. Like,
Well, adverts and propaganda are psychology. You're absolutely right, and that
that's what I'm
shows.
saying. It has to do with all that shit, conditioning, propaganda,
Yeah.
all that. Everything
Yes.
has to do with fucking how people think and how
Yes,
they respond.
and a simple algorithm. A lot of people don't like hearing this because they want to feel like they steer their own ship, or anything that goes against that they're repulsed by. But the truth is, you can take a relatively somewhat simple algorithm and reduce almost all of humanity to that algorithm. And the proof of it is capitalism. And that's how it works. It's so simple.
Yeah.
They control almost everything every person believes, and it works.
The most recent disgust I have with your country is listening to the MAGA justify how the ICE agents were allowed to shoot those two innocents.
Well, what
Are you from Australia? You're Australia or New Zealand?
They
Australia?
broke down the things like, what is it called? Screenshot by screenshot. So you know that she was turning away from him and all this stuff. So everything they say to define these people as terrorists, we know wasn't true.
Well,
the fucking, what is it? Naomi, or whatever her fucking name is. They're all fucking Trump's bitches. They're all
Yes.
fucking straight away saying they're terrorists.
you're right,
Going
and
against
so
ICE, and it was wrong.
the one
And it's
thing
so
you have to learn early on, and this is what took me so long to get past, because I can't wrap my head around it. But the truth is, these people don't care about what is factually
No,
true.
Absolutely.
They're
Absolutely.
tribal. They care about what benefits their side. That's all they care about. And
It
that's why
absolutely makes no difference whether I'm from Australia or New Zealand or USA. Just
That's
for
true.
that
Well,
it's
I actually
true.
think that both sides tend to think that what they believe is true for the most part.
you're right about that, but one side can actually back that with evidence far greater than the other.
Well, when
As
it comes
in-
down to value systems, a lot of it doesn't really have much to do with the evidence. It's to do
Now,
with the shit that they place value.
So those are two different things. So when it comes to value, you're 100% right. But when it comes to they claim to value a certain thing and then they backtrack on it because it doesn't serve their end, only one side does that. And that shows you that it's like there's no way to make this, well, both sides are just the same. No, that's not true. Like, only one side. Like, for example, for decades, the right was championing gun rights. And by the way, even though I'm on the left, I'm pro-gun. And a lot of people hate that
In your
about me.
country, you have to be, dude. So
That-
you
well,
don't
that's
have to
true.
keep
Well,
explaining.
well, that's not why I'm saying it.
I'm anti-gun, but I'm pro-gun if I lived in your
Gee,
country.
you're anti-gun. I would not have guessed that ever.
But my
Yeah,
point,
I know, but
my
you
point,
don't live in my country, JT, and you're just looking at it from the US side, whereas I at least look at it from both sides.
No, I'm not
that's
capable of
true.
doing that because of where I'm from.
Spazzo?
Okay,
No,
hold on
I'm
just a
not-
second. I don't
I'm
want this
not
to get,
taking
I don't want this
beyond
to
this.
devolve into a gun talk. That was a side point. That's not the important thing I was saying. The important thing I was saying is, even though they've done that for decades, and every time children get killed or whatever, they go, you know what, that's unfortunate, but it's the price we pay and it's what we need to fight back against potential government tyranny and your right to bear arms, etc. And they've always been in lockstep about this.
That's
However,
what Kirk said before he got shot.
yes. So, however, in recent events, a left-wing person who completely had a completely legal gun and did absolutely nothing wrong, didn't brandish it, didn't point it at anyone, gets shot and killed. All of a sudden, the entire right is quiet and saying that he should not have had a gun. That is all I need to show. Like, that's end of discussion. They're not the same.
He should not have had a gun, or he shouldn't just shot somebody with it.
He said, so Trump and Noam said, and not Noam, Trump and whatever that damn FBI dude, Kash Patel, said that he broke the law. You can't just go around carrying a gun to a protest. For one, that's completely incorrect by the Constitution. Yes, you
Kyle
can.
Rittenhouse. Kyle
Exactly.
Rittenhouse into a protest, shooting down 3 people.
Exactly. And so my point, and the reason why I bring this up is you're not going to find anything comparable on the left. They're not equal. One side is bullshit and lies. And I'm not saying that because I'm on the left. I'm saying that because it's factually true. We actually have values. You're right that that's subjective, but we actually care about those values and stick to them no matter what. That doesn't happen on the other side. They just completely change their views based on what serves whoever's in power.
Do you see that the head of the DOJ?
Used to call it. That's all it is. They're called full of fucking shit.
I mean, if we want to get real, like if the U.S. government decided to go against its people, there's no firearms that civilians have access to that would be able to stop them.
So I'll agree and disagree. If there was the government turned on the people and it was like a traditional fight, you're absolutely right. That would not happen. It would be like, how come?
Does the government want to own a nuclear contaminated US though?
Do you know how much money the United States government puts into their fucking military?
That's true, but let me.
They don't want to. They still need to run civilians, don't they?
Civilians wouldn't stand a chance if the government decided to go turn against the
military.
I disagree.
Isn't gonna fight the civilians. Most of the people are gonna
so hold
in
on.
their posts.
I have one question to posit here. How come the most powerful country in the history of the world couldn't defeat a tiny piece of shit nation called Vietnam? And the reason is the answer.
Because we weren't trying to.
No, that's not true. We were very much trying. In fact, we literally burned their fucking forest down to try to kill them. And we still failed. The reason why is because it was not conventional warfare.
Guerrilla warfare.
They were hiding guerrilla warfare, yes. And if we ever needed to face off against the government, with guerrilla warfare, we do very much stand a chance. Because you can't fight guerrilla warfare. It's not like it's something you can see. Like
Afghanistan, we spent 20 years there and didn't get really anywhere. We ended up doing the whole country.
The truth is, the public has no idea what the military is capable of at this point.
That's true.
Or what kind of technology they fucking have. Absolutely none.
That's true, but regardless of what that technology is, you can't kill who you don't know your enemy. You can't fight something that you can't see.
Well, it's the thing is the civilians know their surroundings better than like a foreigner. So you take somebody from Texas and try to have them.
I'm sorry, but you can't convince me that the fucking civilians would be able to stop the government if they want to.
Yeah, we take down the power grids, bridges, name it.
What Gadwin just said is also true. What I said is true in my opinion, but also what Gadwin just said is the military would not just be like, okay, we're going to serve this tyrannical government that just turned on its own people. It would rift in two, and part of the military would join us.
Yep. I can create a bio threat in my shed.
If
they're getting paid to turn against if they're getting paid enough to turn against your average person, they do. Most people.
I don't think they would.
It's a voluntary military. Most of them would freaking go AWOL.
So I think that it would be close to 50-50. I hate to say that, but just that would be enough. Like, that would give us insight into how the military works. Let's say that 2% of the military defected. We know that would happen. That's all we would need to know enough to be able to have a fighting chance if we had people that had a brain on our side. Now that,
and it's not like it used to be. Like warfare doesn't come down to number of people anymore.
Exactly.
It's technology. Like
people don't die in war anymore.
That's true, and I will say technology is more important than it used to be, but even that's not the only answer because, again, guerrilla warfare still works today. You can't kill what you can't see, who you don't know is going to pop up at any moment and destroy your resources and your.
Can I just keep a drone hidden there above and out of view watching for extended periods?
Yeah, in guerrilla warfare, you only strike when it's advantageous to you, when you can cause more harm than you take, And you can fight at like almost insurmountable odds if you have smart people in charge.
Yeah, but we have greater surveillance than the Vietnam War. We have drones that see in the
That's
dark
true.
and satellites that see in the dark. And
You got motherfuckers that can see through fucking walls and shit. Yeah, like
they've eliminated the ability of guerrilla war like you remember it. I'm not saying
that's true.
It's not guerrilla like the
harder.
But so yes, they have increased in technology, and that allows them to fight certain aspects of like Vietnam era guerrilla war. Absolutely, I agree. But that works in reverse.
Hats on their head. But I'm kidding. Sorry.
Yes, but that works in reverse too. We, as individual citizens who are in this case, the potential opposition, also have greater technology.
Can I just
look at Ukraine
a little bit?
Well, I mean, it's not about conventional war anyway. Like they're already at war with their own people. It's just psychological.
That's true. I agree.
Hard to hear you, Mal. Mal wants to say something, fellas.
Sorry. Are you all talking about this with insurrection and this and that and the other? Right? You have. I just find it looking in from the outside. This is America, the most powerful country in the world, considered to be one of the most democratic countries in the world. Debatable, yes, I know.
No, it's not. It's not democratic.
Yeah. But you know, compared to other places in the world, that's what they consider to be. Yeah,
no.
The most beneficial countries in the world, because when it comes to things like emergency aid, there is nobody better than America doing it than America. They are brilliant, and they will tell you how fucking brilliant they are too. But they will do it, right? Okay.
I agree with you.
Here you are talking about Americans killing Americans. Where the fuck are we?
It's pretty terrible. And what bothers me is that Americans themselves are like in this fucking like robot mode. They're like looking forward like sheep and just continuing their daily like hamster wheel shit. Like nothing's going on. What the fuck?
Dude, first of all, how are they supposed to know what's going on? And secondly, what would they even be able to do about it? Really?
Well, so honestly, the honest question, and this is the issue, when people go like there's nothing I can do.
That's not a defeatist attitude. It's a fucking realistic.
Well, no, it's not, and I'll explain why. And people in France before the French Revolution had it way worse than we do now, and they fucking completely overthrew it. That's not just France. Throughout history, anytime we've had tyrannical shit, the only thing that can possibly change the power dynamics is people forcefully stopping the fucking tyranny.
That's been true conventionally in the past, but it's not. Things are different now.
How?
Dude, the fucking technology is much different now.
Yes, but at what I said earlier is still true. Not only do they have greater technology, so do we. In fact, they can't hide anything anymore because we all have cell phones. They can't. Everyone knows.
Dude, we don't know what the fuck the government do. We got to assume that they're at least, say, 20 years ahead, at least of what fucking available to the public.
I agree. I agree with that.
UFOs are in a fucking shed.
I don't even agree with that. I think that the thing nowadays is not military might and anything else. These fuckers want power.
Plus, people are too stupid to organize to any meaningful capacity anyway. You're not going to get enough people to organize against the fucking government if the government's
vote.
Not that they could, but even if they were,
I agree that most people are stupid. That I can't disagree with that. I say it all the damn time. But you don't need everyone to be a genius. You need a couple of people that are leaders that have the brains to make the calls. And all we need is for the dumb people to actually see what's going on. The problem is there's so much propaganda on the other side. It's hard to fight it. Like
dude, the problem is there's so much bullshit from every angle. You're not going to get people to fucking unite in one cause, even if they could.
After it all shuts down and people are starving and they're seeing it with their own eyes as their fellow civilians are being blown up and murdered in the streets. People change really quick. Like the leader, and I think it was Romania, he started gunning people down the streets. The streets ran red with blood. The people fucking chased him down. Even his helicopter pilot dropped him off, said, "Get the fuck out of here." And he hid in some art building. And then the person that told him to hide in there called the cops on him to come arrest him. They publicly executed him.
I agree with you. And
do you think it's going to happen in such a.
We're not going to agree on this one, I don't think.
Probably not.
I mean, just if you want to talk about conventional warfare, just look at Russia and Ukraine. They're using drones and all this technology you're talking about, and Ukraine's still kicking the shit out of Russia.
Russia could
And
level Ukraine in a fucking day if they wanted
if they
to. This is
used
all bullshit.
nukes. Russia's
I
lost
heard
1
they did a
million men
prisoner
so
swap
far.
yesterday.
Yeah, it's bull because it's all bullshit.
Prisoner of war swap.
Politics.
Showing the love.
Again, no. The thing is, like, talking about Americans shooting and beating Americans and bashing and changing the regime and all that. What the fuck is going on,
Just
guy?
read about the American Civil War, 750,000 deaths.
It's
It's
been happening for decades now. This is the culmination. This isn't like one little thing that just started. It's
okay.
we've had this rift between us, like the left and the right, for a long time, and it's grown.
I think this is just a filter down from Trump's nonsense. I think he's changed the way the world works.
I agree with that.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, look at the stock market. The stock market's tanking into the toilet.
you
Bitcoin's dropped like 44%.
So, yes, yeah. Forget the stock market.
Wow.
You guys would not be. I'm saying. I'm guessing that you guys would not be thinking about all this fight this and insurrection that and underground that if Trump hadn't been there.
I don't know. It's hard to say because I believe that this is bigger than Trump. That if it wasn't Trump, the elites would have chosen someone else. And yes, that's conspiratorial, but that's my belief.
But it's been going on for decades and nothing's
True.
been happening. Nobody's been talking like this.
Well, to be
I mean,
honest,
if you believe that elites
Yes.
are electing, listen, if you believe that the elites are fucking electing like the goddamn presidents,
no, that's not what I believe. I believe that they, in some
They
ways,
fund him.
control. They fund him. They tell him what to do. I don't think they elected him.
Absolutely
Just
agree.
look at
Well, listen, I wasn't even say that would be too far
controls
off.
other people. It does semi go back the other direction as well. I have no reason to not believe that, and I absolutely agree with what Trove said for that reason.
So you
You know,
think
there's power plays. You know, for Trump to control this people this way, he's got to do it for a reason, and they're going to want this in return, and that's why it goes both ways.
So it is possible that this is happenstance and he's just an idiot and he's doing everything for his own gain and it happens to be destroying the country. That's possible. But I'm inclined to believe that he's like a cog in a bigger machine. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, he
Oh, yeah,
needed
he's a
help, and
useful
that cost
idiot.
him
Yes.
fucking.
Then why wouldn't
favors.
everything be like a cog in a bigger machine, like the whole?
It
bipartisan-
is. I'm not
It
saying that it
is.
isn't. It is. I completely agree. But I think
policies-
Trump is a bigger deal because he's literally the leader of the fucking free world. He controls a big part of not just our country, but the whole world.
The policies over the last 26 years have been beneficial to the rich only.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, what you're saying about how Mal, about how this rhetoric of like revolution, I've been saying this since I was about 20 years old. This is not new for me.
you know where I've heard it from?
Right. Okay.
Oh, Fox News is always on about how we got to take over the government whenever a Democrat's in charge.
Yeah.
Like,
And then that's the part that I was bringing up earlier is the hilarity of the double standard. Like the things that the right were traditionally worried about from Obama and Biden, like taking our guns, and that's actually happening now on the fucking right. And Trump is causing it. And no one's, it's like they're quiet now. What the fuck is wrong with people?
did you see that video of Janina Pirro or whatever, the head of the Department of Justice, that she was going to ban guns in D.C.?
She
and
had to
walked out?
backtrack very quickly. Even Trump was like, what the fuck did you say? Like,
Look up
you
the
can't.
video of Trump saying take their guns first, then due process. He said that his first time in office to take
I
people's
know.
guns.
Have you,
Wow.
you know, this
Awesome.
Trump guy is doing all this foreign stuff here and there and all the rest of it, right? Now, from what you guys have said, I know it's a limited statistic, but it seems like your country's a bit fucked up, right?
Yeah.
It's a mess. So
Yeah.
with
With the
all
media.
with all his foreign policy and this and doing that and wars over here and stopping wars over there, do you not think that somebody should just turn around and say to him, have a look at your own backyard, guy?
The guy has zero
He doesn't
self-reflection.
care
agree.
about their backyard though. Now he's raping their backyard for his
That's
family's
true.
I
profit.
don't know. I'm looking from the outside in.
Yeah.
aren't I?
Well,
Trump
the
does
thing,
double
Exactly.
speak.
So he doesn't give
That's
a fuck
true,
about
and
that,
that's
he
the
just needs you guys to not really notice enough. And you guys have noticed it. Don't get me wrong, but not all of you have.
you're
And
right.
he
There's
needs
too many
enough
that
of us
haven't.
to not in the 4 years he's got left. And he's trying to get another family member in next as quick as he can after Vance D, whatever his fucking D name. You know what I mean?
JD
JD.
Vance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants Vance. Trump doesn't even like him.
Yeah. Even the right don't
Exactly,
like
but
him.
He was just a
if
yes
he takes
man. He's
power,
not a
then
fence.
Trump can take it off of him.
Yep.
So he needs, you know what I mean?
Right. Why aren't the
That's
why aren't
about the best
American
loophole I know of.
Honestly, like that's the question I've been asking myself for so long, because it doesn't matter what factual information comes out. They don't seem to care. Like my own
No, exactly.
fucking people are just like sticking their fingers in their ears and going la la la, and I'm like,
Well,
I think
what the
it's-
fuck is wrong with you?
They watched the no
Trump is
spin
not giving a
zone.
fuck. He does not think he is leaving fucking term after his time runs out. You can tell that already.
Well, I think its rating is somewhere around 30% or something like that. It's pretty crap.
There's roughly 25 to 33% that are diehard. And I don't mean to, I know sometimes I get angry because I care about this subject. I don't mean to cover all conservatives, but that 25 to 33% that are diehard MAGA are what I'm talking about. And they literally have something wrong with their brain. Like
Yeah,
they're not
stupid.
well, there's that too, but it's also like an enlarged amygdala, which makes them fearful, which makes them hate people that they shouldn't hate.
Well, propaganda
There's-
works great on those people because they
That's
don't
true.
critically think about the things or even try to look up information that would counter what they were just told. They
Yeah,
take
that's
Fox
right.
News
Yeah.
hosts
So would
at
you be
everything they
like in
say.
favor of like eugenics to like kind of breed those people?
Oh no.
No, do not.
Now you care a lot about that topic. Anytime someone says it, you're like, whoa, no.
I know. I got a stiffy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a slippery slope there. If you're saying there's something wrong with people's brains that like make them inclined towards evil shit,
Yes.
like that you deem evil or whatever, stupid.
Yes,
Wouldn't
so
it-
I'm
wouldn't
not. I stand by that claim because that's what the evidence
Yeah, I
suggests.
agree.
But that does not mean that I favor
Blatantly.
eugenics. That means
No,
that
I'm
we
not
need
saying you do.
to.
I'm asking, like, wouldn't that be
That
I'm
viable?
all for it.
That would be a solution, and a lot of people would agree with it. Personally, I think that they should be like there's polite ways, like put them in a home or
Polite.
something for special people, like, but don't let them vote.
Well,
Don't let them
here's-
vote.
There's a thing that came out years ago. They had a chemical. It's basically birth control for men. They inject something into your balls, which makes it so your sperm basically
Ow.
is inert. And if you like have it so you take an IQ test and shit like that, and if you're like one of these dumbass MAGA people, just make it. They can't reproduce. Just make it for you.
So again, we go back to our earlier conversation. That's technically eugenics, and
That's
but
selective
still,
breeding. That's
yeah,
selective
that's the
breeding.
same
What
thing.
if
Same
it's,
thing.
Fucking evil, guys. And anyone who thinks otherwise is full on.
Well, to me, it's for the better of the
I
society.
think that there is an argument that is not wrong. I'm not going to agree or disagree here. I'm kind of on the fence, but I think that you can make a valid
Natural
argument.
selection and selective breeding.
Well, I'm just asking, like,
is
what's
what
wrong
you're
with it?
talking about.
What's-
Eugenics is
We all
is
do
a
selective
version of
breeding.
that,
We
but
select our
the
mate.
No, I'm talking about like
version.
mandated, like you
Yeah,
know, we're
not
talking about.
mandated. Like if you're like, I don't think like mentally retarded people should be allowed to. Like, you ever see that movie I Am Sam? Like, how the fuck did he have a fucking kid? Like, you would have bred with him in the first
So
place.
yeah, you can make a good. So it's not about being conservative. It's about being mentally.
What
deficient.
gives you
It's
the right
like-
to take away their
Yeah, but see, what if there's like MAGA people
individuality?
that they're not mentally incompetent or deficient? They're just evil. Like, isn't that also kind of like Isn't that
Well,
also?
so those are one and the same, because if you can trace the quote evil to actions that are caused by deficiencies in their brain, which we can measure, by the way, they're enlarged amygdala, then you can. Those aren't separate. There aren't two questions. That they're not either or. It's the
Let's
same
just say they
thing.
got a normal amygdala, but they're like
taking away
they're
a
really
woman's
gung ho
right
for
to
Trump. Like, what do you do with
control her
somebody
own
like
body
that?
too? You're taking away a retarded person's right to reproduce. You know, there's
Well,
Well,
some
shit,
arguments,
you-
hold
you
on, hold
know,
on.
like
Genetics
you're taking
on.
away the
So this-
individuality, you're taking away the pro-choice.
That's a valid
It's,
point to
uh,
bring up. So my
it's
answer,
a
my
bad
answer
thing.
would be, there is like all rights, and we could have this discussion. All rights are made up; they're not real. There is
This
no
is why
actual
they're all
right.
subjective.
Well, that's why
It's
we're
not
asking an
objective.
opinion
Yes,
over
yes,
it.
yes.
So, in my opinion, there, for one, and a lot of people hate this, there is no right to life. And that's why I believe that certain people should be murdered, and it's not wrong. It's actually beneficial to humanity. And I would add this to that exact same thing. No one should be allowed to, like, if we can prove that there's a high likelihood that a child's life is going to be like, they're going to be evil or perpetrate atrocities or whatever compared to the rest of the populace, I don't think it's wrong on a utilitarian level to keep that from happening. And I don't think that that's
Don't think
taking
you're
away a
to
right.
quantify it.
Wait, so
You
we
haven't
should
got a
just
way
like
to
kill like little
properly
psychopath kids
quantify that
before
yet.
they grow up?
Potentially. I don't know if I would agree with that, but I think we need to have a conversation about that. And maybe, yes,
Yeah,
maybe.
cool.
Maybe observational, like where they're put into like a place where they're supervised for and see what traits actually come out of being a psychopath.
Yes, that's
There is
important.
good psychopaths, but then there is diabolically like your Jeffrey Dahmers and everything like
Yes,
that.
that's an
Yeah,
important.
they
That's an
need
important
be
thing to bring up.
restrained at all, but I probably still wouldn't get them. I don't know. Yeah, okay. No, I'm not against
I think
capital
we should just
punishment.
start killing
I'd go off
everybody who
the
doesn't
ones
share
that are
value systems. Yeah, I think we should.
no,
everybody.
but the ones that are tried and true best to be detrimental to any and everybody.
Yeah, I think everybody should just. I think we should.
Oh, there's uses for those types of people. Like, so if you have psychopaths, there is a role that they would fill really well, and that would be like special forces military, where you
True.
put them in, like train them to be the best
exactly.
special forces, because they're not going to get traumatized by the actions of war. So you can use them.
They're very good at business because they're not concerned about the money side.
You're
Well,
right.
no, they're all about the money.
Well,
They're
yeah,
not about
it's,
the ethics.
yeah.
No,
They're-
they don't touch the money at all.
Oh, bullshit.
No,
Every CEO is a psychopath. They're all about the money and power.
Well, then, no, they're all about themselves, and usually money is a part of that.
Exactly.
poker players in the world, and ask me if one of them, even one of them, is concerned about how much money is involved. Not one of them. They all don't give a fuck.
Well, to me, it's
I agree. Once
Well,
they're
no,
at
that's-
that
it's
level,
not.
they no longer
It's whatever.
care,
It's
right
whatever they
now.
place importance
little
on.
bit
But
crackly
it's about
now.
themselves. Like if money is important, if violence is important, if sex, whatever they want, that's what's important to them, regardless
Exactly.
of anybody else.
They don't care about other human life, though. They have zero
I mean,
empathy.
yeah,
for
they
other
just have
people.
they have proclivity towards like extreme fucking self-centeredness to the point where
yes, but I think that focusing on the money, I think what Gad just said is the way to look at it. It's not the money that's significant; it's their lack of empathy for other people that causes them to succeed. It's true that like they happen to make more money, but I think that's because they don't give a shit about other people and they're willing to
Exactly.
fuck them over.
They don't
Yep.
care about money.
Exactly.
They'll
Well,
lie, cheat, scam.
I think
as I said in poker, right? They play poker. They're very good. Some of the best poker players in the world are psychopaths. Why? Because they're detached from the money. They don't give a fuck. It's a tool to do.
No, they're detached from other people. They don't give a fuck about people.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, they don't care. It's a tool.
I think it could go either way on that. I don't have enough info
But
to be able to
almost
draw
all
in.
the serial killers in the past are psychopaths. So,
Look, man, the commonality is they don't give a fuck about other people, basically. Like,
Now that's
Exactly.
true. We can all agree on that. So the
yeah,
thing
so
the thing
whatever
that
else
we
motivates them doesn't really matter because the reality is they don't give a shit about.
So should we kill them?
To me, who the fuck am I to say who should
No,
be killed? I mean,
I said.
well,
just like
I think
said,
everyone has a right to express their opinion, even if other people get offended by it. So when
no,
you
I'm just saying,
say
it's not like any of us are creating legislation or anything.
that's
gonna
true, that's true. But there's
I
nothing
mean, we
wrong
can
with
all
having
say,
a
in
conversation.
my perfect world, these people aren't allowed to live, or my
Right.
perfect world, these
No,
motherfuckers.
I'm just saying we should utilize people. So, like, psychopaths should be automatically put into the military, put into a roster program as kids, and then trained to be military, like professional
Yeah, I
forces
agree.
in the
They
military.
tend to fall into those places anyway. Either through, like, is he good? Is this mic fucked up or is it me? Like,
Yeah, Mao, your mic is horrible today.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
who is that?
It's cracking a lot.
Sorry, just not listening.
No, you should leave and come back.
I might disagree.
Yeah.
Is that the problem?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, it was
I don't
bad
know
on
where
the
it-
other stream
Your
too,
audio,
brother.
you're not coming in clear. You sound like shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's a you-sided thing now too, brother. It's Wi-Fi or your speaker. But
Whatever. I'm
there
not
was a
gonna.
speaker
I'm not just
before,
leave and come back. I might fix
so
it.
I'd say it's a Wi-Fi issue
I can't do it.
currently.
No,
just
Yeah.
leave.
it's a microphone connection issue.
I bought new headphones. I can't do
No,
it.
you
But it
can. You
wasn't
can.
that bad before, dude. It
Yeah.
seems like lack of data
We
from
should,
this end.
we should put psychopaths into the. What the fuck? Who are you to tell a psychopath where he should go, what he should do?
No, that's what I say. It's kind of a meaningless. I mean, it's kind of like, oh, in my world, if we would do it this
So
way,
hold
like,
on. I'll
mentally
disagree. I'm
handicapped.
going to disagree on one level. From a utilitarian approach, it's not about me. What, like, you go, hey, I'm just some random person spewing my opinion. That's not the case. We can measure objectively the amount of harm these people put into the world. It's not about my opinion. It's about that it's a factual bonus
Harm
for the
mitigating.
entire. Yes, it's a plus for the rest of the world. It's a greater good if they are, let's not say killed, but they are not able to do some of the harm that they can cause.
Cold.
I mean, look at
Yeah,
mentally
cold
handicapped
is the
people.
word.
We put those people, like the mentally handicapped, are sent to like state schools and stuff like that, where basically they're kept there.
Yeah, just kill him. Fuck him.
Well,
No.
I'm not even saying that. Look, when I said not killed, I didn't, and then you said cold. I'm not trying to find like a slippery way to say killed. I actually mean
I
that,
am.
not necessarily. Like, you can have
kidding.
other ways. All I'm saying is that taking them out or getting rid of the ability for them to cause that harm that we can measure, there's nothing wrong with preventing that. We should.
yeah. The question is, how exactly would they go about
Yeah.
it?
That is the question. Yes.
So where do we go with this? Are we talking thought crime?
It's easy to say, oh, we don't need those people. Like, nobody.
I know
It-
I'm extreme.
1984.
I'm
Well,
extreme, but I'm only going further down the fastest.
I don't agree with thought crimes. That's a valid point, and I've brought this up before. I don't
Nice.
gauge like evil based on thoughts. I base it on actions,
Yeah.
and especially
Yeah.
repeat actions.
Yeah.
Pedophiles is the example I
So,
constantly use for this.
Yeah,
They can't help.
you
They
wanna
can't help
talk
that they're
about.
attracted to children. They
Yeah.
can't help
So
that
you're
they
talking about
choose.
So we just kill them? I
pederasts,
think we
you're
should
talking
just
about
take
the
them out.
ones you
I
kill.
agree. We should kill them, but not because of their ideas or thoughts, or they can't help that they're attracted, but because they decide to act upon that feeling, knowing that society frowns on it. Then you kill them, especially if they
Hence the word
repeatedly do it.
pederast rather than the pedophile.
Well,
Pederast is the ones that
I
act
think
upon
we
it.
know my opinion on that.
Yeah, I know you're. You can feel free to state it because not everybody knows you. Like, I mean,
Okay, so because the guy can't help himself, he's not well in
I
the
know.
fucking head. He goes around, he fancies kiddies, okay, and he does it, and you're gonna kill him because he's not well in the head.
So there's a problem here. So
Wait,
so hold on. You don't know what you just said. It's an assumption. You're assuming. Yes, it's true that he can't. Hold on. He
Killing him.
can't. He can't help that he's attracted to children. That's true. But you can have people defend them, and then they'll use that to their advantage and act as if they like, hey, I'm just not trying to do anything wrong, but they know it's wrong and they do it on
he doesn't
purpose.
need to act on it. He doesn't need to act on it.
Exactly. That's the end point that we're making here. Is
Yeah, don't be like Trump.
So yeah, I mean, I could say I have a certain proclivity towards violence and shit. That doesn't mean I get to act on it because that's what I have a proclivity towards. You know?
Well, you know the consequences of that.
yeah.
You'd be locked up.
It shouldn't work that way. Like, oh, he's fucked up, so it's okay.
You want to take these people out of it because of what they would do, not because.
I'm not saying that even. I'm not talking about killing anybody. It's,
Now we have prisons full of people who did like what you're saying. Like,
Yes, if
we
they
removed
act on it,
millions of people from society.
if they act on it. You want to take them out before they've acted on it.
Not me. I
No,
personally,
that's
I
not
would
what I
require that that not only that
I
they
said-
act on it, but that they do so repeatedly before I would have them.
I
God
said
damn,
for the
dude, how many kids
psychopath-
they got to fucking touch before you say that's enough? Like, what?
That's a dangerous one.
Well, that one's just one, and you're done.
I
But,
think I think
One and
two.
done.
I think two.
Two, boy, okay.
I know it. I know it's rough, but like I think that you need to have the possibility for what's the word where you change people. You,
Rehabilitate.
yeah, rehabilitate.
You
You
gotta
have to. You have to at least have the possibility and give them a chance.
No, you said
Mal wants to keep everybody alive for no reason.
You just
Dude,
said
he's got to fix his life, man.
Yeah, that mic is horrible.
Trubs.
Dude,
So, hold on. We're having trouble hearing each other, and we're kind of got some cross chatter.
If
Good.
you said earlier on,
Okay.
oh, I think it should be 2, blah blah blah. I think it should be 1, right? But you were saying earlier on that they can't help what they do.
That's true.
No, I said they can't help what they like. They can help what they do.
Yeah, exactly. Those are two different things.
No, you just said no. They can't help it. So,
No. He's saying they can't help what they like, but they don't have to act on it. Is what he's trying.
And the thing is, they are aware, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. They're not completely ignorant. They're aware of how society feels about this. That they know that they hate themselves, and sometimes they feel broken. And it's true that they can't help the drive, the desire. Okay. It's not true that makes them act. So
why 2? 1 should be enough.
Because I'm kind of in my perspective, I'm in between most of the guys and you. To me, you are like 100% rehabilitation. I'm like in the middle. I believe you should give them 1 chance and put effort into rehabilitating them and make it to where they, even if they're still damaged, so to speak, in the brain, that they won't act upon it. And if that's successful, good job. Like no harm done. Other than that,
it's like Mal thinks you can rehabilitate a serial killer. It's like,
no, you're completely missing my point. My point is you can't rehabilitate these people. They can't help it. Trump said that himself. You agree?
No. You're conflating 2 things, and this is the problem. You're conflating helping the way they feel and their actions, and they can help their actions. They can't help.
Like a drug addict can control their addiction.
Bro, what he's saying is there's a lot of potential murderers that never fucking killed anybody. So there's a lot of potential pedophiles that never touched a kid. There's a difference between fucking wanting to do something and doing it. It's a difference between desire and action. Like.
Yes, and I will never be okay with thought crimes. That's some 1984 shit. I'll never be okay with that. Like, because someone thought something that they have no control, at least in my view, I don't even believe in free will. I don't think you can control like your brain. But like, I'll never be like, that person thought something that I disagree with. Let's murder them. Like, that's not okay for me.
If you think twice is good, when they do it the first time, they're going to be thinking about it the second time.
True, but so my goal is not to change what they think. I can't do that. My goal is to change their actions. So if the consequences are bad enough, or they are, you could even say it's manipulative, and it is, but that's what rehabilitation is. At least the concept in my mind is you, in whatever way you can, make them to where they fear doing it again, or they realize that it's wrong. Whatever method works. But the goal is to keep that action from occurring again.
Yeah, just torture it out of them, scare it out of them. Whatever you got to do.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
So are we for ethical torture?
No.
I don't know. So torture has been shown to not work for what we want. Like,
well, it does save a lot of lives, though.
So no, I'm thinking of
there's a thing that's like there's psychological conditioning. You know, somebody doesn't want to be fucking tortured. Like they're gonna stop doing that thing that got them tortured. Like
true.
They're not going to stop, are they? Have you ever?
Oh no! What happens is they end up associating whatever that thing is that they used to like doing with like being tortured. So then they don't want to do like,
you torture them to stop them.
Like electric shock.
I see nothing wrong with that because
classical condition.
Exactly. And so the problem is some people will hyper focus on empathy for that individual. Yeah. The problem with that is you're not looking at the big picture, because the harm that they could cause, and more than likely will cause based on evidence, is far greater than the torture you're going to cause them to keep them from doing it in the first place, especially when the alternative is killing them.
Hey, and you know what? If they feel bad about the shit that they're doing, they might even thank you for torturing their asses to fix them. Who knows?
Maybe.
No, you don't need to, because they know already, and they will. Most of the pedophiles won't do anything. They control.
He's not
talking about those ones. He's not even talking about those ones.
Exactly. Like they don't even come into this equation at all, because I'm only concerned with the action.
So that's any other crime. Okay.
No, he's not saying it's a crime to be fucking attracted to children, even though it's fucked up. He's saying it's a crime to fucking do something to kids.
Yeah, they can't help it. That's just their biology or whatever.
Whatever, they're fucked up, but
There's something in their
being fucked up in itself is not a crime, but committing crimes is a crime.
Right.
Like,
Well, I mean, if you look at a lot of the old religious texts, like Muhammad take a girl at 9 and then would have sex with her at like 12 and shit like that.
oh, shit. There's no Muslims here, right?
So
No.
no, not right now, but that's another thing that bothers me is when people do this thing where they act like morality, and Ben Shapiro does this. He acts like morality has a
Contextual.
a time context, and that's not true. If something's wrong, it's wrong, regardless of what was popular back in the 1700s or
Absolutely,
medieval times.
brother.
I don't give a fuck. Like slavery, for example. I don't give a fuck if it was popular, whatever. It was wrong then. It's wrong now. It was always wrong.
Currently
The
having this
Overton window
argument with
change.
my
When it
old
comes to,
man
like,
who I've just
contextual ethics
reconnected with. He thinks that the shit he did when I was a kid can be just brushed aside, and I go, man, just because you think that it was okay back then and it's not okay now doesn't mean you get to just brush it off. You still fucking did it back then, you asshole. And
That's
I
true.
want a fucking goddamn apology, and I want it to my face, fuckwit. You don't just get to say, everyone else did it back then.
Well, I think a lot of times there's a difference between morality and ethics. So it's like,
wasn't, it's
So
never been a good thing.
let's
just 'cause it was
expand on
allowed
this
then.
because I'm confused. Like, what is the difference between morality and ethics in your?
a lot of
in your
people
view?
use them interchangeably, but they're not the same exactly.
What's the
Morality
difference?
would be like what the individual considers
Yeah.
to be right or wrong. Ethics is what society
No,
deems right.
currently, though, you need to
Okay.
and a lot of that
define
is
what you mean by morality and ethics, because neither Trobes nor I understand.
Well, I just
Right.
explained it. Morality would be something
Not
that the
clearly,
individual.
that's why I'm asking.
I'm not going to explain it again. Like, you got to listen when I'm talking. Like,
So
Yeah.
Fuck, okay,
if
Trobes,
if
you
if
get
I
it,
remember what he said clearly, and I may butcher it on without intentional or whatever, but like he's saying that morality is more about the individual's like sense of right and wrong.
Oh, subjective.
Correct.
Yeah,
That's right.
And
it's
that-
not objective. We know that.
Well, yeah, that's true. But in his words, the ethics is more about the
Yeah, I don't get the
collective
difference,
society.
and I still
The
don't
cultural-
yeah,
get
that's
the
to do with more of like
So-
a society, what society deems correct. Right or
I
wrong.
don't know. That may be true. I don't know. Semantically, I don't know if that's the actual difference between.
I'm
the
not
two.
even getting into the semantics about it, but I mean, let's say those two
Or the
definitions are on the side.
explanation of
The point that I'm saying is when people are talking about like morality or ethics, like in a contextual sense, like this was wrong
We
because
don't.
this was right because people thought, most people were doing this
Right.
back then. I don't think it always means that. They're just saying that that's what people were doing back then.
Yeah,
So-
like if you
Yeah,
look
yeah,
at,
but
like,
a lot of people
Romeo,
use it. Sorry, go ahead, Gadwin.
like Romeo and Juliet. That's actually a story about like a 21-year-old and a 12-year-old, and people like that was the commonality of like the 1500s, 1600s. That's what was common.
So let me ask a question
It
that
was
explains
pubescent, Gadwin.
exactly. So hold on. So let's break this down a little bit. I'll give you my reasoning for today. Why do we find it wrong to have sex with children if we're adults? What is the reasoning for that?
Because they're ugly.
No, seriously. What is the
Well, in the
reasoning
past,
for
women-
society having a problem with that now today?
Well, today
because
it's-
they're not mature mentally or physically. like-
Exactly. Now, so here's the answer. This shows you why it's not time dependent. That is no more true now than that was true at any time in history. They were not capable mentally
Absolutely, brother.
to
I'm
make the
so glad you
decision,
got to this answer,
and
so
and
quick.
this is why it's not time dependent. It's always
No.
wrong.
well,
so glad
in the
that
past,
JT
it was about
agreed
keeping
with you.
society
No, I
alive.
agree. It's
Jesus.
something you're talking about, basically, the idea that something is universals. Like this is universally right, wrong, dependent, regardless of the context.
Well,
regardless of the
I don't know if I would go
Yeah.
so far as to use
It's
universal
still
because
mind dependent, so it's subjective.
Well, you're saying it's non-context based. Like it doesn't matter what time period, it doesn't matter what.
yes,
Yeah, which they
That's
would
my
consider that
argument.
like universal.
Testified
So
to
it's
the
universally right
justice.
or it's universally wrong. Like in that sense.
Yes, in that sense,
It's
yes.
justice.
But
to
in
the
the past, it
girl.
was about
Like it's
propagating
always
species.
wrong
It was
because
about
of the
keeping
because of
humanity
the reason why
alive.
it's wrong.
So okay, so this gets complicated. Anything involving morality
We're all
is,
close.
but
I don't
okay.
mind. This is
If
good.
you define wrong as causing harm to another person, and we can agree that a child is not capable of making an informed decision, therefore it is wrong to do something to them, if we can all agree with that, and I'm sure any logical person would have to agree with that, then everyone objectively, it wouldn't be, it's objectively true that people would agree with this, but it still doesn't make it morally objective, if that makes sense.
Of course not.
I mean,
but
well, that's when people use words like it's universally wrong. Because it's wrong.
It's still universally wrong based on the metric that it causes harm. So unless people disagree that causing harm is not, they're like, hey, causing harm is a good thing. Unless they make that statement.
Causing harm,
or unless they say unless they want to argue that it's not causing harm or that it's somehow good.
Right. So that's another possibility. That's why this is complicated.
There's a lot of fucked up people out there. Like
that's true.
In the Amish community,
it's not
at 16 years old, you're considered an adult.
We agree with that. So it depends on what we're talking about. So when I say that there's something that's potentially objective, it's not the morality you're talking about. It's the fact that the thing that causes harm can be objectively measured. Objectively, like it's measurable. So the thing that's objective is the measurement itself, not the morality.
yeah, like they're saying that this is going on, like that's just, it can't be denied. But whether it's right or wrong, or whether you like it or not, that's completely different.
I learn about morality from a book.
but I think we agree in the end.
Yeah, like what Trump was only with 13-year-olds is wrong. But like in the Amish community, you're considered an adult at 16. Like you're done with school at 9th grade and you're going off to be a full-time worker. The woman, you can get married. It's just,
well, yeah, that's when you start getting into like, what's considered a minor? You know, shit like that.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
In different fucking countries, they consider the minor age, legal age is like different.
So that's a valid argument. So the argument that this was all based on was that I laid out, the premises were that they're not capable of making that decision. So the argument is, at what point in time are they capable? Exactly. That's the whole thing.
Well, and that's the thing too. Men and women age
conversation.
different. Women are kind of done aging at 18. Like they go like a lot of it through like 16 to 18, where men aren't fully mature till like 24 or 25.
So it depends on what you mean by maturity. Like,
but as their biological,
it would be an
biological maturity. Women age.
That is true. I don't think anyone would deny that. But the main issue is
about like, are they mentally or psychologically?
Exactly. That's the main issue that we're all discussing.
Where you're from too, like modern day people don't freaking grow up at all anymore. It's like people in their 30s are still children. But then if you went back in the medieval times, like you were expected to do hard labor and you were taught like how to be an adult at a very young age.
It's true, but still, like even then, I know that's not what you're trying to do. You're not justifying pedophilia back then.
No,
I know you're not.
Time in the periods of how
I know what you mean, and that's why I said that to be clear that I wasn't accusing you. But like the point is that regardless, that it doesn't change the biology of the matter, because psychologically, the point at which women in general are prepared does not change, even through time and space. The only thing that does change are the experiential things, the cultural things, which is true that that's a factor. I don't deny that, but I know
women in their 40s that act like children yet.
That's true. But we're not focused on like the individuals. We're looking at the big picture, and the question is,
when are their brains mature enough that it's not a moral issue to
but that's a complicated question to answer.
Well, this is a weird thing too. Like my sister, she ran around with this loser in town. She got pregnant at 14, had a kid at 15.
True.
She should have never. I mean, I was like, go get an abortion. But I have a niece now. She's an adult. She has kids and everything like that. Like that was just more commonplace back in.
Your thing is, you're saying that it's a general thing about girls are more advanced than blokes or whatever. No, it is individual.
Yeah.
You said yourself, there are some women out there who are 30 acting like they're 10.
Mm-hmm.
Are they capable of deciding whether...
Well, it comes down to more, I think, struggles. So the more struggle you have in life, the more adversity you've overcome, the more maturity you gain. Whereas you have an easy life where nothing was really hard, you have to really grow up.
I agree.
I don't know, dude. I think it has to do with like their mentality, like maturity-wise.
I think all of these are factors. The problem is if you were to latch on to just one, let's just take the one Gad brought up as an example. And I know this isn't what he was trying to do. But if you were to say like, Okay, then any woman that has been through sufficient struggle by, say, 15 is considered, quote, of legal age. There's going to be problems with that methodology.
Okay. Like,
So
let's say, go on.
That's basically it. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's just
Well,
you're
I
not
think
ready for like
this.
a marriage and all that shit and kids
So
and
there
everything.
still needs to be some sort of biological or baseline to go off of, and it can't be dependent on just like amount of struggle or any individual like environmental factor. Like it's too like
Well, I think someone brings a good point down there in the comments. I think age gap is also an important fucking factor. There's a big difference between a 19-year-old and an 18-year-old getting together.
so
And
I completely agree with this. In fact, for many years I had a 3-year age limit, and people were like, "Dude, that's extreme. That's too hardcore."
That's the law.
But
like
well, no.
I'm saying
I'm not talking about like a minor. I'm talking about even like
yeah,
even
she's
when
just
you're
like she's
older.
barely legal,
I had
right?
a
There's a difference.
stepsister that was with a guy, like she was 16 or 17. She was with a guy that was like 21. That she got pregnant and they tried to put charges on him. It's like, and then they're like, fuck this. They just got married, and then that just resolved it all.
Let's say 50-year-old.
I think you're missing something in that. You're talking about the age gap or this or pedophilia. Pedophiles shouldn't be.
Yeah, so what happened is we jumped into a different topic.
Yeah,
And
what happened? What happens then if you've got a pedophile who wants to go for the 8-year-old because he thinks she's
Jesus,
and finds a 19-year-old with
What? There was a big case about that.
hold on, what did he say about a pedophile and an 8-year-old? What?
Well,
Yeah.
the Mormon Church, there was a thing about that.
He goes for the 19-year-old with the emotional maturity of a 9-year-old. Is there any difference?
Oh no! That's what I'm saying. We were talking about that. Yeah, you can't just go around boning like retards or fucking mentally regressed. Like that's fucked up too.
I think that the same metric that we just used or that we laid out for why it's wrong to touch children in the first place, which goes back to mentally incapable of making an informed decision, can also be applied to adults. If they're mentally incapable, exactly. Yeah. Yes. That's it. It's the same thing.
Just the baseline. Like that's just our baseline.
Imagine you taking advantage of a fucking mentally handicapped woman. Yeah, this is. I mean, I'm not saying that's the same as a pedophile, but it's of the same kind of nature.
It's the same idea.
Yeah, it's basically.
In which case, why do we not have maturity age limits rather than age limits?
That's harder
because then you're getting into fucked up territory. You say, oh, this 9-year-old's very mature for her age, so that's okay.
So the problem is maturity is not something that you can measure objectively. It's not something that we have a way to like tell you exactly where they are on that scale.
You know what would happen is dudes would be like, oh, well, she's very mature for her age, so it's okay. That's what would happen.
There was a big case years ago that made this whole thing bad. There was a Mormon guy who was like in his 70s. He married a 9-year-old and then had his other wives hold her down while he did things to her.
9
years old.
That person should be tortured before murdered.
Yeah, flame alive.
Yeah, I mean, I've had 11-year-olds flirt with me. I know some of this stuff.
So this is where I disagree with Mal. I think certain things are so atrocious that not only am I okay with people dying, but I think that they should die in the most inhumane possible way imaginable.
Yeah, we will definitely.
Who should be dying in that way?
It depends on what we're talking about, but I think Mal has no limit. And I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you believe that people shouldn't be killed. I believe not only should people be killed in certain instances like pedophilia, repeat pedophilia, but like should be tortured. Like I think there's no fucking like from a utilitarian perspective, the amount of harm that they can cause that they do and attribute to the world, especially to like minors that are innocent, like the amount of harm they can cause is far more significant than the torture that they get in exchange for that.
I would guess.
Hey man, if they all knew that they would be like brutally tortured if they got caught, they'd either be way more discreet about it, or they'd stop.
Where public execution comes in handy. So, like, do you ever hear of? Vlad, you ever hear the story of Vlad the Impaler?
Yes.
He mastered psychological warfare. He was a tiny nation, and he was being invaded by the Ottomans, much superior forces, everything, outnumbered 10-1. But he started putting men on stakes, and when they came and found forests of men just strung up on sticks, that put so much fear into the other army that most of them actually left, they deserted in the night and such.
Yes,
He beat the greater force.
He was so good at psychological warfare that it actually became part of popular culture. We got the idea of Dracula and vampires through his actual actions because people were so afraid. They started like exaggerating and coming up with these crazy myths about him.
And do you think that's going to work on somebody who's
not that extreme?
Well,
but
I'm
public
not.
Execution was very useful. It stopped people from doing a lot of crimes.
Wait, so Mel, are you like a pedophile sympathizer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If people are serial killers or pedophiles, scared of them to fucking bits, won't do it again.
So I can reach across the aisle and I can agree with Mal part way in that they can't help the urge, the feeling, the what goes into their brain.
I mean, how many times are we going
to beat I know, but I still maintain once the action is committed, I don't care if they can help it or not. Once the action is committed, you're causing measurable harm in the world to other people. And to me, that is more important.
And that deserves to go.
Well, yeah.
It depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about like, there's levels of evil, and
how we put in levels on whether we kill them or not. This is
well. I hold on. I've always that's not new. I've always had levels of evil.
You are a pedophile sympathizer.
Like that's crazy. A serial killer, I think does not deserve to live.
So I can respect Mal's point of view because he's being intellectually consistent in what he believes.
Yeah, he sympathizes with pedophiles. I get it.
No, it's not. That's oversimplifying.
He sympathizes with all, sympathizes with all criminals.
I would protect.
Yeah, pedophiles included. Murder, rapists.
I would protect the pedophiles up to the point of where they act on it.
Protect them.
But hold on. That's what I said. That's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And I remove them from society because they can't live in society. It's not.
Yeah, why? The prison population is going to kill them. So anytime a person like that goes into prison, they're just going to be killed by the inmates every time.
The population is going to kill them because.
What's up?
Oh, what's up, Rain? You know my phone's almost dead.
What you're not going to do is play judge, jury.
I just want to say, fuck Trump, fuck ICE, and fuck anybody that disagrees.
Yeah, fuck pedos.
Agreed.
Trump, did you see the Epstein files?
I'll fucking beat up a pedo. I don't give a fuck.
Did you see the Epstein files that came out? That's just crazy. Bill Gates, John Chomsky, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. All those people.
Yeah, Trump and his best friend Epstein, they deserve to get fucking beat up.
There's allegations that Epstein was alive playing Fortnite.
So we're going right back to our previous discussion. Trump and Epstein deserve to get beat up. That's nothing. They deserve torture and death.
Yeah, exactly. A bullet to the fucking head.
I think that's too good. That's too good.
See, I'm for the line of flaying people alive. That is,
I agree.
And then throwing some salt on them after you flayed them, and then watch them.
I agree, and it's important to note because I know Mal doesn't see eye to eye with this. It's not just a blanket thing for anyone who I disagree with. Of course, there's levels of atrocity, but the things Trump and anyone we're talking about in this situation has done meet out that level of justice.
Yep. Make it public. Make it public so people can see it done.
You can get them to do atrocity.
I don't give a fuck. How narrow-minded is that?
It's not.
Hold on. Say that again, Mal. I only heard the end, but I didn't hear the first thing you said.
Rain said, "I would beat up a pedophile. I don't give a fuck."
Oh,
are you a pedophile?
He is not. But he thinks that it's wrong to harm them.
It's wrong to punish them.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're a pedo sympathizer. What the fuck? What is wrong with you?
Listen, I'm not saying you're a kid catcher, but
hold on.
Whoa.
let even if you feel strongly about a topic, let people say their thing. And people were starting to to jump over Mal when he was talking. Look, I don't care if you like Mal or you agree with him or whatever. You have to let him talk if he's in the middle of something.
It's okay. I don't mind people being narrow-minded. Or
Narrow-minded? What's narrow-minded about disagreeing with pedo sympathizers?
agree with them. You wanted to beat them up. For what?
I
For
mean, it's
being
better
a
than pretending to
pedo.
rehabilitate them. Like, shit.
Duh. Use common sense.
Common sense.
Yeah.
I mean, Rob was talking about torturing them and shit. Like,
Hold. It
Well,
is
yeah,
true.
they deserve to be
Well,
tortured.
hold on. So
saying.
you're right, but also I want to make sure that you're not straw manning because it's very simple. Yes, it's true, but very specifically, if they are repeat offenders and we know that they cannot be rehabilitated, then yes, torture them and then
It
kill them.
should be
Yeah,
if they
I mean-
are an offender in the first place.
But no, the issue is most people think that they should die simply for having the thought, which I disagree. You can't control what you think and what you want.
Well, and most of them do
Exactly.
die anyway.
It's
So
like a
as soon as they go into
pedophile
prison
and,
population, that
But
prison
you,
population.
but you as an
ain't
individual
shit
know
out of
what's
them.
right
she
and wrong.
hasn't educated herself.
There is no objective right and wrong.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, exactly. It changes from person to person, and
Well,
and
it's the
a
overtime
all
association.
all a
Bruh.
pedo is
Brother.
all a pedo is someone. I can't answer completely, but based on the knowledge we have now through neuroscience, we believe that there's some kind of an issue in their brain, and it's weirdly associated with the cute factor with children. Like when we see a baby cat or a baby dog, a puppy, we're like, oh, so cute. They have that times like 500, and it's a problem in their brain. So it is true, and I stand by saying they should be tortured and killed if they act on the shit, because if we can't stop it. But it's not their fault that they feel that way in the first place. They have no control over their desire.
Of course not. There's too many cute kids.
A puppy and a kitten, they're fucking innocent.
We
Of course,
agree
you're
on
gonna
that.
want to
Point. You missed
you're
the
gonna want to
point
protect it.
completely.
We all agree on that. My point in bringing that up is that the puppy and the kitten, the reason why we find them cute in the first place is literally something that happens in our brain. And that exact same thing is happening with pedophiles, just to like
Amplified.
a weird amplified brain circuitry thing. And that's what causes them to be how they are. So again, I stand by. If they're especially repeat offenders,
Because there's something wrong with them.
I don't know. A puppy and a kitten and a baby, yeah, they're innocent. They don't know right from wrong.
that what we don't. No one disagrees with that.
A grown
That's a whole-
adult
that's-
knows
We're not
right from
talking
wrong.
about puppies being right or wrong.
So hold on. It is true. If by right and wrong you mean most people do not accept this, you're right. They do know that. That's true, and that's why I stand by when they commit the action, they should be held accountable. But I do not ever agree with like this. What's it called? I said it earlier, like the 1984 shit. Thought crimes. I don't agree with thought crimes. Like because someone thinks something should never be held against them.
No.
It's only when they commit an action.
I never said anything about thoughts. I'm saying like if you're like doing that shit, like yeah, like you know,
I know,
they need to
and
be
so-
punished.
You're right. So what I'm trying to do is explain why Mao arrived at his conclusion. That is the primary difference between what you said and what he said.
Yeah, I'm of
Mal, do you think everyone can be rehabilitated?
Of course I don't. Pedophiles can't.
I think that he has a certain value to life that's subjective, that is stronger than the potential for harm, and he thinks that like essentially you are what you hate at that point. Like you're kind of just as evil or something.
I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
more
like whenever-
self-righteous idealism than anything. Because I think
Why
if it
don't
was
we
your
ask
kid that
him?
got touched, you'd probably want to fucking kill
Why
somebody.
don't we ask
Maybe,
him?
maybe. I don't know. I'm not Mal. I don't want to.
I'm
tell
not
him.
putting that
I don't
on
know.
you, but I kind of am.
But
Yeah.
just as a little aside, my father was one and he got 9 years.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
I'm not self-righteous in this. I mean, what I'm saying is, right? Don't
Why did everybody get quiet?
you don't because
Because we're trying to allow Mao to talk. It's
somebody
called
said something
politeness and courtesy.
And it wasn't just opinion.
Hello?
I think she can't hear us for some reason.
I can hear you guys. I don't think you guys could hear me.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear
Oh,
you.
okay.
You just don't kill somebody because of something that
Everybody else got quiet. Why?
Mouse talking.
They can't hear me, can you?
For fuck's sake. We can all hear you now, and then fucking Rain talks. And
Oh,
it fucking
maybe I need to
derails everything.
I need to refresh. Hang on.
Apologies, Mal.
Can I just give it a quick?
Yeah, go hard.
Ooh,
Go hard
sound like
now,
you ripped
brother.
one.
I'm saying that just because somebody is doing stuff that they have no control over whatsoever. They'd like to, they try into. Most of them do. Some of them can't handle it, and they do it. And you don't kill them just because you exclude them from society. Yes.
So
And people are saying, like Godwin said earlier on, oh, you put them into the prison society and they will kill them anyway. But they don't get separated, right? So that's another thing.
I agree with
I
Mal.
respect.
They're
So
not,
while
deserve death.
Well, there's also
They've thought about it. They haven't taken action.
yeah,
At
people turn around
pedophile
and
level.
say,
I mean, we could share it.
Terrorists is once they've taken action.
once
people say things like, you should put them in prison. Oh, it costs too much. We can't do that. Or just kill somebody
fuck
because it
off.
costs too much. Well, fucking ridiculous idea.
No, we should.
Where are we going to go next? Burglar?
So
No, we
that-
should do the Clockwork Orange thing where we like fucking we.
brainwash them.
Yeah, we just brainwash them.
I half agree there, brother.
Let's bring back Call
Well, no,
of
that
Duty
was
Battle.
extreme conditioning.
Let's make them what we call normal, even though we don't have a definition of normal. For fucking Jesus.
So
yeah,
so with Mal and Odd's view, like having explained it logically, I respect your point of view. I can't logically have anything against it, but I do disagree.
See, I'm pro-abortion and pro-death penalty, so I mean I'm pro-death in both aspects. Where I'm not going to be one and not the other.
I think that goes back to what I was saying: is that it's based on your value for life, which is subjective. I don't think that life is something that's a right. I don't think that it's something that people are automatically entitled to.
It's a privilege. Okay, you fuckers.
That's how I
pretty much. Yeah,
I'm of the opposite opinion.
I agree. I know.
Life is something we have a right to take away.
Exactly, which is why I respect your opinion, because our difference isn't rooted in something that's correct or incorrect. It's about our personal subjective values.
Are you anti-condom, Mal? Because condoms take away life.
Well, they actually prevent life, but
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, but that seed comes out for a reason. It's there to fertilize
Well,
an egg.
even then, that whole argument is always going to go back to at what point do you call it life? It's always going to get to that.
they're gonna say either conception or if it's anything beyond that, then they're who knows. But
that's true.
It's either conception. It's either the moment of conception or anything beyond that.
That's true, but it's also important to look at the extreme other side, and that's like I don't ever hear someone screaming because someone fapped into the floor because those sperm, those potential lives were
because there's nothing. Yeah, nothing was conceived at that yet.
Exactly, but most people argue before conception that it's alive.
I don't know who's arguing that, but I think many people that would be like say pro life would argue. I think most of them are arguing that it's at the point of conception.
So wait, okay. So even that's subjective,
Can
or
I
not
ask a
subjective.
question about this? What has brought this on the pro-life, pro-fucking choice argument again? So
no, it just happened to come up. That's what he's talking about. He's like, "What point is?"
It's just a random.
I get it on Facebook. I get it on YouTube.
Oh,
It's
if you
really,
mean
really
if you mean a cultural thing, in my opinion, it's
I'm Aussie,
propaganda.
So I shouldn't be suffering your fucking yeah. I shouldn't be getting your propaganda. I shouldn't be getting your. But I am.
You're Australia. You're
propaganda. It's not a discussion.
It's not even just Australia. The entire world has to deal with America's shit because that's how everything's set up.
It's been a CIA off for years. The CIA has been pumping our stuff into.
Does American stuff, all this stuff that filters down?
No, I'm just saying. You're like I think that was what you were asking. Like,
does if you go to the other side of the world, does the China stuff filter down?
No, they have the great
Not so
filter.
much,
It's
and
called.
it's next door, Mal. That's why I'm fucking weirded out here. Why the fuck
Look at the
isn't
sea
Hindu and
cables.
Buddha in my fucking life? I know
Rupert
nothing
Murdoch
of that.
owns all the media in Australia. The same guy who owns
Thanks.
Fox
Absolutely,
News.
Gads. The moment you said his name, understood.
He's right, and it all goes back to the answer is propaganda. In fact, that's the reason why the right in America, the reason why they even give a shit about it at all is due to propaganda, and I can prove it. Do you know why? Because it was literally the clergy in America that performed abortions. So the reason they even care about it is not because they actually care about it, it's because they were like tricked into caring about it. Like, hey, this is against God. It's never mentioned anything about abortion in the Bible. I've read it several times.
Under Nixon.
No, it's because they're you could say they're conflating or they're relating the two to like one ending a life, murder, or whatever. So that's what they're saying.
That's true, but the point is literally the religious were responsible for causing the abortions. And that means that the religious circles did not have a problem with it, not until recently when they were told to care about it.
And I think that goes back to that new CIA documents that came out, how they use conservatism to take over the minds of people. Well, Christianity.
Before all the butts in, I'd just like to mention the fact that women abort every fucking month.
What?
Yeah, it's called a period. Yeah, they have a period. They dispose of an egg every time. That's what the period is.
All right, get a grip.
To be honest, I like a lot of people hate this about me because I'm supposed to represent the left. I'm kind of in the middle. Like I see some legitimacy to both sides on the abortion thing. I don't think that it's a factual thing like most of the issues.
Yeah, like no late-term abortions where it's like they make.
What would be your stance on the positive side of preventing abortion?
So say that again. What
would be your stance on preventing abortion?
Contraception or abstinence?
No, I don't mean the physical thing. I mean, you're...
Well, to me, the important thing would be the line at which we draw. And I think that if like you're in your, like, for instance, like second trimester, that's like you could say without any argument logically that they have had plenty of time. They know that they're pregnant. Like at that point, it's fucking evil. Like you can't argue that that's not evil. Like they've waited forever and went like all of a sudden, like after all this time, and like it's clear to everyone around them, including themselves, that they're pregnant. Like, oh, I think I don't want this anymore. That's wrong.
Yeah, you got the first 3 months, and if you don't want it by then, I mean, you got to get rid of it by then. After that,
exactly.
you're stuck with it.
Exactly.
Well, I'm going to argue.
Okay.
Bro,
I'm a fucking lefty.
You're fine. I love disagreements here.
I'm a fucking hippie. Look,
it's called Mike.
Body autonomy.
Dude.
That woman's body is her body. That baby is a parasite until it's born. That's it.
So
wait, you're against murdering, but you're against like killing pedophiles, but babies.
That's sort of why I'm in the middle here. So,
okay. I mean, I hate to sound like that blunt about it, but goddamn, though. Like,
yeah, it's like you pop it out at 9 months old or 8 months old, and then be like, "Oh yeah, I don't want it."
Like, no, we gotta protect pedophiles at all costs, but babies, they're fucking parasites. they're leeches. They contribute nothing. Like they need.
Man, fucking, did you guys hear on Blade Runner? I believe it was Maxi and Plum and I think Gucci, and they were talking about having a police force specifically to protect pedophiles.
Oh boy! You know, Mal could join them. I think he'd be. I think.
No, Mal's not quite like that.
Yeah, like parasite killing pedophile defenders. Like,
and yes, that's this is such an important topic.
It really is.
Like earlier, what we were talking about, and like how people can't figure out why Americans are silent and shit. I want to bring out of all this, this is the biggest, the most important. I don't give a fuck about your political shit or whatever. Why the fuck are so many people okay with the sheer amount of popular leaders and shit that are fucking literally connected with pedophilia. Why the
There you go.
fuck
Ask your
is that
mega
not
friends,
like?
my brother? Ask
Yeah,
your
like-
mega friends. Ask JT. He's
No,
the closest
it's
we have
not-
to
Ask
MAGA.
me?
not just
Yeah.
MAGA.
What?
Yeah,
Hold on.
you're the MAGA
No.
dude
It's
at the
not just the
moment.
right. It's not just the right. Noam Chomsky,
You're
who
the
was
closest.
Ask me why.
I loved Noam Chomsky. He was
Yep.
implicated. Fucking like Bill Clinton. I didn't like Bill Clinton, but still, the point is, this isn't on just one. That sure, the right probably worse than the left, but they're both involved, and that, I think we should across the fucking board.
In the
Listen,
elevator
man,
with
they're
Bill
all probably, in
Clinton
all likelihood, they're
codes,
all
you
probably
dirty
fucking
little
pedophiles.
fecker.
Probably it's
Oh,
fucking, and we need
I
to
mean,
do
really.
something. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Think about that. And people are just like, oh, well, what can I do? I don't give a when it comes to children, we should be fucking like up to the point where we're ready to murder people in the streets over this shit. Why the fuck
thing
aren't people
is,
pissed?
dude, when it comes to revolutions, like, there has to be some level of organization. You can't just have
I-
motherfucking psychos
I
running around
agree.
killing people.
I agree about how you feel, but I think in general, I don't know about you.
No, I think everybody wants a revolution, but the problem is nobody can agree on what kind of revolution they even want.
So yes, that's true. And also we need a certain number of people, because if it's the beginnings of a revolution, it's just going to get quashed, and then everybody's
It's more
hope is
like
killed.
it's more like a slow burning civil war, if anything. I
Yeah,
wouldn't even
right.
say it's
Very
a
You want a
revolution.
Borg-style
Instant burner.
revolution where I am the Borg queen. I'll accept being a queen in this instance when everybody's turned to become like me, because, you know, everybody should be made in my image because I'm awesome and everything. You know, resistance is futile, etc., etc. I don't have nuclear weapons, so I'm gonna probably be fucked up. But yeah, whilst I've got the glory and the attention, yay, Odyssey.
Anybody, any clue what he's babbling about? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what you're babbling about.
Man, fuck you! I got my 10 seconds, asshole.
The problem with your revolution is the same problem you've got with the people who are in power with pedophiles, and that everybody is not paying attention to it, is apathy.
I agree. But the point is, that's the point I'm making, is why are so people apathetic to like to me, pedophilia is like about as bad as it can possibly get. It's like the most evil of all evils. Like, how the fuck can you be apathetic toward that? Like,
I don't even think it's full on apathy. No, I think it's the fact. I think it's a little bit more nuanced than that. Because like,
then
you
what?
can't. No, I don't think it's just full apathy. I think people at this point, I think a lot of people, I mean, it's goddamn mainstream. Before Epstein, this Epstein shit is the most mainstream that this topic has ever gotten, as far as like being that widespread, as far as like people empowered.
Wow.
I agree, but like,
talking about isn't that level though, dude. You guys got to understand that. Yeah.
Okay, so what is the implication
I
here? Is
need
that
to
basically
explain.
the Epstein? The implication of Epstein is not just Epstein. It doesn't just stop at Epstein or the Epstein files.
I know, that's why it makes it very much difficult when you say Epstein all of a sudden. Like, fuck, man, we were being.
Well,
It's not all of a sudden. I'm making a point. Are you
If
drunk?
you watch-
Yeah, I know.
if
I
you
know,
watch the
and
media-
you're probably right. And I'm not fucking saying you're not, but fuck, man, that's a very generalized thing.
I
In
didn't even get to
And it
finish what I'm
makes it
saying. Are you
very
drunk,
hard
bro?
to defend
In
against or
California-
argue against, etc.
Odyssey, are you a drinker?
Not often, dude.
Are you
And not
you're drunk
now,
right now, aren't
so
you?
Relax.
Well, shit, I wish I could be as relaxed as you, but then I'd probably be babbling to myself.
Accusations.
Did you guys see in the news in California, they just busted a pedo ring. They arrested 600 people and freed like 170 kids from the pedo ring.
Wow.
that's what I mean. And like, this news is not hidden. Even people right, left, whatever, are fucking privy to this information. And like, people are just like, oh, well, like, what the fuck?
What's weird
Lots of
is
things
because
together
the
here, though.
president.
Okay, well,
implicated-
well, let's put that to the test. Then, what is Trobs doing about pedophilia?
Well, hold on.
Besides talking about it.
Hold on. No, hold on. That's the important point. I'm
Not
talking about it, which
Shades of nothing.
what does me talking about it show? That I am
Yeah.
fucking
What
Weird.
actions are
bothered
you
by-
taking against pedophilia?
Talk-
Against pedophilia?
using my voice is an action. It's not separate.
It's being
So-
silent.
so-
Okay, well, you know, I mean, we could all talk about pedophilia, you know, forever, but it's not going to stop anything.
But if, well, actually,
Awareness.
like people becoming aware and people using their voice have traditionally toppled empires in the past.
Absolutely.
Like you can't overstate the power of speaking your mind, especially if, like, I'm not tooting my horn, I'm not anybody special, but all it takes is one person that has a certain level of charisma and can get people behind them to push that, and everything changes.
I think the Maid of Orleans from France is a classic example of that.
I think most people agree that they're against pedophilia. I don't think most people are going to I don't think you're going to find anybody.
Well, no. So my point is that they will claim. So your words are different. It's almost like I'm reversing your argument just now. So people will claim that they're against pedophilia. Yet if Trump does it and he's implicated, like he's not just involved, he's literally the best friend for over a decade of Jeffrey Epstein. And people are like, because it's Trump, oh, well, we're still gonna support Trump. Like, that's all I need to know about that person.
Stupid. Yeah, that's pretty fucking stupid. Yeah.
Exactly. But that's what I'm talking about. And that's apathy to a certain extent. At the very least,
that's hypocrisy at its fucking that's
right.
Select. Yeah, no.
At the very least, you could make the argument they do care about pedophilia and they hate them, but at the very least, they care more about whatever Trump gives them than pedophilia.
If they're willing to overlook fucking ties, the Trump Epstein connection because they like Trump, then how much do you fucking care about pedophilia? Like,
exactly.
It's a cult.
And really, the implications run a lot deeper than just fucking Trump or any of that.
Oh, absolutely. That's just the easiest, clearest example, because there's so many MAGA people that are like, they were literally talking about fucking like Pizzagate and shit, which is the same idea. It's the same idea. And it was like all a hoax. It was bullshit. It was crazy in the first place. But still, now we have actual factual evidence that their fucking president was a pedophile, or at least involved in pedophilia. And there's crickets.
Well, let's just say very good friends with a well-known fucking pedophile. Like,
sure, but even that's enough.
Well, they found pizza references to pizza and shit like that. People in these new files wanting pizza and shit like that. Like, it's actually in there now.
Wait, they were talking about pizza, right?
As ordering like a young child. And shit like
I don't think that links to Pizzagate. That's more of an obvious thing. Like the link, but the link between children and pizza, it's obvious. Like, it's not a conspiracy. It's like clear. Like.
No, that they're using like pizza for like what they mean when they're
talking slang words. Like whenever I
trafficking kids and shit. Yeah, they're not like, going to say, "Hey, yeah, let me get a kid." Like, no, let me get a pepperoni.
When I had to buy weed from the black market, my guy, I'd always met, "Hey, do you got any corn?" And I would just ask him if he had corn, and then you'd be like, "Yeah, I got some corn. Come on over," and shit like that. We just use like slang words and shit like that.
That's true. That's true.
Weed. Yeah, they're not going to implicate themselves like
that. That's possible. So the reason why I said what I said about the Pizzagate thing is because I want to make sure people aren't going, "Oh, there's some legitimacy to Pizzagate," because there isn't.
No,
there's none.
Just to be the chat wanker.
Well, coincidentally, if they're using fucking pizza code words for fucking trafficking kids, that's weird. I mean,
that's the point.
A cultural thing. They just pulled it from that and added it into a conspiracy.
I'm just saying that was way before Epstein did the pizza shit.
Well, that is true.
Epstein goes back far. That goes back into like the 90s.
I'm just saying, man. What are the chances that they're using pizza like fucking pizza?
Well, I would honestly say that it would be more weird if there wasn't a connection, because children and pizza are an obvious. Let's say there's no pedophilia or anything. That's obviously going to be connected.
I'm going to shut it off. Sorry, fella.
Yeah, cool.
Later.
Take it easy.
Far be it for me to be the track wanker again, but I'm finding guilt by association very difficult to handle. I haven't heard of any evidence that Trump is a pedo or he knows.
Well, no. You're right. And so what? For one, I never claimed that he himself was involved in pedophilia or whatever. But I'm actually saying what you just said, guilt by association. It's not just that he knew the guy. It's that he was best friends with a dude whose entire fucking thing was pedophilia, and you're not going to convince me that he knew nothing about it.
Oh, There was when Epstein's partner, that woman, got arrested. There was documents where Trump met a 13-year-old like 18 different times that looked like Ivanka Trump. It was in the
That's true
documents
as well.
of the DOJ.
There's so on top of what I just said, if there was nothing else, the association thing is enough to damn Trump alone. But on top of that, what Gad just said, that's just one piece. There's tons of evidence historically to link Trump to all sorts of allegations of like child misabuse or some shit.
When he bought the Little Miss USA,
Who would
patch,
expect the Brit to play devil's advocate for fucking Donald Trump?
Well, Britain's the most liberal country in the world.
No, I think it's great.
To be fair, I do the same thing, and sometimes people
No,
get
I
pissed
think
off.
it doesn't mean he supports one or the other.
Right.
He's just-
No, I don't. I'm looking from the outside in.
Right, I do the same thing.
I don't have evidence of this that you guys have got. All I know is that he knew Epstein and they were mates.
Yeah,
that's
but
that's it. That's the connection.
Implicated
But-
in many
but-
things.
You're right, and Gadwin's right too. But my point is, if there was no other evidence about him being accused of raping little girls and shit like that, or groping or whatever, being best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for over a decade, if that's all the information you had, that is enough. That's all you need.
I just
Like, so hold on. It seems like you're making the case that in the best case scenario, Trump was like absolute best friends and hung out with, was pictured with all the time with a dude that was a pedophile and ran a pedophile ring, and he just knew nothing about it.
Well, and I think Trump had his own ring actually too, because how he said about Epstein poaching his girl. He had a massage girl that she was a teenager. That he's like, yeah, Epstein poached my massage girl. So I think Trump had his own.
Dude, they all probably have their own little fucking deals going on.
Maybe, but so Mal's trying to say something. He's having a hard time
to hear him.
I know,
dude.
I was trying to say that I could see your point, but I disagree because he could have known Jeffrey Epstein for 50 years. I don't care. He could be best mates with him for 50 years. That does not put him in the same bracket as Epstein. It doesn't.
hold on. I didn't
he's
say
saying not without solid evidence.
I did
not without
I did not say that they were the same.
I'm not.
I didn't say they were the same. I said that is enough.
He may not know.
To
No,
show.
I think what Mal's saying,
Trump
there's no evidence to support that Trump necessarily knew about what Epstein was doing, and that's true.
That is true. My case, I agree with that. If that's your case, I agree. But I'm gonna say that you're gonna have to do some crazy mental gymnastics to claim that was likely. It's likely that Trump didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, but he's saying it doesn't matter how likely or unlikely if there's no proof.
But it absolutely does matter, because sometimes in life, all we have is probability. You can't just base everything on facts.
You would have to have jump through hoops, like you said, and have some big mental gymnastics.
But I'm just saying, when it comes to implicating somebody, or you gotta have.
But I'm not implicating like legally or anything.
No, I'm saying you're saying you're advocating that there should be some sort of action. That they should do something about Trump, given these new recent insights into his connections with Epstein.
No. I'm just saying that he's a fucking guilty piece of shit, and it's a purely emotional thing on my part. I hate the man, but like when it comes to legality, I have always been on board with evidence matters. I don't care how emotional you feel about a thing. You should only prosecute someone or engage
legally. They can't do anything to him, not without something.
And I agree with that.
I find it difficult to go with the they can't do anything legally, but he really must be guilty because that's how I feel.
Well, no, he's saying
that's not what I'm saying.
No, I don't think he's saying that. He's saying that it's unlikely that the dude didn't know anything about what Epstein was doing, and that's probably true, because it's a good chance that he's doing similar shit.
And it's also true that. Go ahead, Gadwin. Sorry.
Some interviews with survivors mention being at Mar-a-Lago or meeting Trump, but they do not specify accusing him of abuse. So I mean, we haven't had any survivors that actually.
So I believe that the evidence matters, all that good stuff, but I also believe it's possible to be, quote, too open-minded, to the point where a whole conflagration or amalgam of fucking evidence it's not proof, but evidence points in a certain direction, and you go, not proof. Like at a certain point, you have to just be like, let's call it what it is.
No, yeah, no, but yeah, we're there's a difference between opinion and legal. Like legally, you need actual proof.
Absolutely, and we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Like
No, but he's
we're not
saying
gonna
it's he's saying I have reasons to believe it's very likely or that Trump
Well,
knew what the fuck Epstein was doing.
They're refusing to release 3 million files that actually show videos and images of people doing these acts to these children, and they're
Yes.
not going to release that stuff, and we're never going to probably know if he's actually in those
Disagree with that.
whatever.
I don't know what America works like. That wouldn't happen over here. They would be sure. They would be.
That's
would-
fair. It's fine, and absolutely nothing wrong with agreeing to disagree. But before we get sucked in again, I'm about an hour over, which is way longer than usual. So I'm gonna have to roll. I appreciate everybody coming up, and I'll see you next week if you're available.
Yeah,
It's probably scheduled flapping.
I'll find out.
I was gonna say we definitely feel overscheduled.
Yeah.
We are, and I have a habit of this. We get into conversations, I get lost in thought and shit. I'm ADD, and then I'm way past over. But either way,
Till next time.
till next time.
I'll argue next time again.